All right, Aiden Glendenning joins me tonight. Mr. Glendenning, Game 7. I know you're pumped. I'm quite excited. This crowd's going to be crazy. And here we go. Moncton looking to defend the title. They got to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. You got to wash away that final minute of Game 6 and look at the opportunity you have in front of yourselves here tonight if you're the Moncton Wildcats. You got nearly a packed barn at the Avenir Center in front of the home fans and a chance to get to the QMJHL final for back-to-back season, something that's not done too often, and I expect the guys to come out and with their best effort of the season here tonight in a big game.
You can't sweep them all. You need some adversity in the playoffs. Let's turn things over to JR Aiden as the players are ready to come out here. The big claws down here in the south end, north end of the Avenir Center. JR, take it away.
It is time to rock the den. Accueillons, welcome your Moncton Wildcats. Here now is the starting lineup. Voici l'animal débutant. In goal, Johnny Pilet, number 25. In the middle of that train, Rudy Dimo. Number 12, le numéro 12, Simon Binkley. Number 14, le numéro 14, Teddy Butrin. Number 16, le numéro 16, Tommy Boyle. Number 20, le numéro 20, Preston Lounsbury. And number 24, le numéro 24, Adam Fortier-Gendron. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able as Clintar Commercial Outdoor Services presents our national anthem. Tonight led by Dominique Melançon, along with organist Lyndon Steves, presented by Thermo King. Mesdames et messieurs, debout s'il vous plaît, joignez-vous maintenant avec Dominique Melançon avec l'interprétation de notre hymne national.
Welcome back, everybody. Marty Kingston, Aiden Glendenning, high up at 105 at the Avenir Center. Dead center ice. I'd make one heck of a linesman, Aiden, although I'm not shooting very high these days. Well, here we are. As dramatic as the loss in Robidillon was, good point made by Craig Eagles and Scott Briggs, that we're back home on home ice where we should be.
Yeah, exactly. And Rudy Guimond's getting back in between the pipes here tonight, and you just got to wash away that final minute from last game, Marty. It's a new day, new game, and another chance to advance here for the Moncton Wildcats, and watch them throughout that national anthem. Everyone on that bench is moving side to side, jumping around. They're ready to go, and they're ready to put on a show for their home fans. And on the other side, Zach Pelletier, what a story for him, coming in Game 6 in relief of William Lassell, who went down at the end of Game 5. Played decently well in that game, but for Moncton. You got to get to him early. You got to make a move, and you got to throw pucks on him and make his life miserable, to say the least, in this one, if you want a chance to walk out with this one going to the final.
Absolutely. Here we go to start things off in the opening period of play. And the referees are Jeff Hopkins and John Langell, the veteran Hicks and Duera on the lines. From the face-off, Carbonneau is going to chip one in behind. Rudy Guimont, Tommy Blyle around the boards, bouncing puck to the side of the net. Nice play by the Cats to get it off the boards and down the ice. Scooting back after it. And that'll be an icing call. Going back for the Armada, number 10, Théo Lemieux.
Well, we've seen some icings late in last game. You want to make sure you're getting that to your guy along the wall and getting that deflection. A key face-off here early just to the right of Rudy Guimont. Who else but Teddy Mutrin there to take the draw.
All right, Mutrin. Goal and 2 assists in game 5. From the face-off, there's a shot off the draw and a good save by Guimont off the chest. Binkley throws it off on the boards. Another drive, tipped in front. Guimont is there. The loose puck and cleared away by the Cats. Binkley off the boards, but the point man keeps it in. Good pressure by the Armada early, and Guimont a couple of big saves at the blue line. That'll be an offside play, and the Armada will touch base. Back come the Cats in their own zone. Binkley, Tommy Blyle zips it over to Fortier-Gendron on the boards. Directed in by Chudzinski. Gabe Smith in the corner. Putting pressure on the Armada. Here they come through center. Lovely play to keep it in. Smith now will power his way back to the blue line. The Cats at the net wide. It's in behind goaltender Peltier. Picked up by the speedy Veronin. He'll swing across the slot. Blue line keeping it in at the net. Tip just wide. Moncton trying to get shots at Zach Peltier. Game 7 is underway. Vincent actually played for Baie-Comeau in the Barbashev winner in 2023. Shot in by L'Armada, going into the Moncton corner. Eric Valenius, we're just underway of game 7. That'll go off the leg of Chudzinski. No icing. Goaltender Peltier under pressure. Gets it around the boards. And the Armada full stop. Filai on the wall with 2 Wildcats forechecking. Veronin along the boards. It's chopped out to center. Valen getting it back to Kuzma Veronin. Max Belen across to Evan Depatie. No score opening period. We played 2 minutes of game 7. Moncton has wins of 6-2, 6-2, 5-4. The Armada 3-2 verdicts. In behind the net, good forechecking by Lounsbury. Desnoyers Mercier. Game 7 underway. What a series being watched all across the country. There's an icing play by the Armada. We look at the CHL. Wow, Barrie Colts were down 3 games to 1-8. Came back and beat Brantford in 7 games. And further west, Prince Albert taking out Medicine Hat. They're going to meet the Everett Silvertips in the WHL final.
Now the only one waiting to partner and to tango with in the final is the Saguenay as they wait to see who the winner is of this game 7 between these 2 talented hockey clubs. Like Gardner McDougall said, almost every game it's a fine line here. I don't expect anything different tonight.
We would love to host the Saguenay coming up this weekend. Obviously back to Blyle off the face-off. A give and go. There's the drive. Low, glove side wide, and it sails down the ice on the other side. Marty Kingston, Aidan Glendenning here at the Avenir. Game 7. And a beautiful 20-plus degree day outside. Very windy, though. Tommy Blyle banks it off the boards. That'll be an offside play. Blyle's going to pick it up. Going through center, dishing it off to Fortier-Gendron. Chipped in by Lounsbury. Mercier on the fly. On fellow number 10, Théo Lemieux. Around the boards to Gabe Smith. Back to the blue line, Blyle. At the net, blocked. Blyle's going to pick it back up. They're watching him closely. Obviously, our leading scorer during the regular season. Here come the Armada down on the wing. They're going to chip it into the zone. Guimont losing it in front, and it's chipped off the net wide. Marty here at the Avenir Center. No score. Game 7, 16:50 remaining. Through center ice, picked up by Fortier-Gendron. He will feed it into the zone. Adam McLaren, our producer, back at our studios. Inspire FM and on FloHockey TV. Good evening, everybody. Eric Valenius will flip it in from center. Hop, skip, and a jump into Peltier. No score. 16:31 to go. Moncton skating right to left. Here come the Armada. Captain Vincent Collard just flips a high ball, hit by Chudzinski. Crowd getting a rise out of that. Valenius up the middle, good outlet pass. Veronin Szydzinski and Mutrin over the line. That appears to be offside at the Armada blue line, stopping play. 16-12 to go. No score. Game 7, first period.
Well, we touched on the scores throughout this series, Marty, and like you stated, the Cats losing all 3 games by a score of 3-2. Every single time after scoring only 2 in this series, they bounced back with an effort of 5 or more. In all 3 of their wins, they've had 5 goals in game 2 and 6 goals in the other 2 victories as they look to bounce back here tonight as well.
Matt Virgilio will chip it in from center off the faceoff. In the corner, the tall Gulicic. Number 21, Jan, Tampa Bay property. He'll throw it up the wing. Right side, Collard is open, and they'll come back to right side. Collard throwing one to the front of the net. Chipped into the corner by Matt Virgilio. Gavin Cornforth runs into a teammate behind the net. Nico Turner's good kick pass to Gavin Cornforth. He looked up the ice, intercepted though by Collard. In the corner for the Armada. Swinging back to the blue line. Can they get a shot away? Number 22, Ty Fair on the wing for the Armada. Patient Hockey Club under Alexandre Jacques. Good spin behind the corner, Matt Gosselin. Big Lavigne knocked off the puck by Virgilio. Nico Turnus will give it to Teddy Mutrin in tight quarters. Gavin Cornforth will feed it in from there and head to the bench. No score. First period of play, 15-15 to go. Game 7. Here come the Armada in their own zone. Lavigne across center ice. It's at the Moncton blue line. Trying to break through is Nobert. Velen throws it up on the boards for the Cats, and here they roll through center to Speedy Mercier. On the wing to Lounsbury. Lounsbury in front, back to the blue line. Thought there might be a play at the net. Nobad now will break in on Max Velen. Good poke check by number 2, who caught up to the Armada forward. Excellent defensive play, crowd appreciating that. Big crowd here at the Avenir. Mercier battling his man Matteo Nobad at the Armada bench. Lounsbury's over the blue line. Lounsbury giving it to Mercier. It's in the corner. Desjardins behind the net to the speedy Filai. Lounsbury gets it up on the boards. Velen will intercept it and feed it back in behind Pelletier. Lounsbury is there, putting pressure on Filai. Desjardins, high banker off the glass. Knocked down at the blue line by Liam Bursaw. Bouncing puck continues in that crowded neutral zone. Desjardins will feed it in from center. Guimond's out of the net and wraps it around the boards high, all the way down the wing. No icing. Spencer Gill, Binkley in hot pursuit in the corner in the Armada zone. No score. 14 to go in the opening period of Game 7. Bouncing puck continues to hop around the neutral zone. The Armada throw it back in their own zone. Pittsburgh Penguin property, Bill Zonon. Number 9, the Montrealer, starts up ice. That'll be icing on the play. Blyle going back, and that will stop play. Good start by both teams. Rudy Guimond, Zach Pelletier going to their benches. Timeout time here at the Avenir. 13:43 to go. It is a scoreless Game 7 opening period here at the full Avenir Center on Tuesday night. Hockey, Wildcats Radio, Inspire FM. Welcome back everybody on FloHockey TV. Wildcats have scored 23, led by Tommy Bliles, 9 points. Gabe Smith, 8. Teddy Mutrin, 7 points along the way. The Armada, 17 goals in 6 games. They relied on Maël Lavigne with 5 big goals. St. Louis rounder Justin Carbonneau, 3. And Benzonon, a goal, and 3 helpers. No score. So Cats go emanating here at the Avenir Center. It is Veronin, Szydzinski, Smith, Blyle, and Fortier-Gendron. Spencer Gillen behind the net. It's going to be a great defensive battle between these two talented hockey teams. Cats looking to defend their championship. They have to get a win tonight and swing in against the Chicoutimi Saguenay on the weekend. Here comes Gabe Smith through center. Big number 9 rolls to his left, getting around one Armada, the shot. Pelletier had to be sharp on that low stick side. Moving in is Valenius. A drive, tipped in front, knocked down. Chudzinski is there. Veronin flying through that neutral zone, turning and firing, tipped by Chudzinski. It'll roll into Peltier. And the Armada defenseman pushing Chudzinski and Gabe Smith out of the way. That line's been buzzing, Aiden. 13:05 to go, no score.
Well, it's good to see them get off to a hot start there, and what a shift that was on that last play there by Veronin. And not only that, but just getting the defense activated. Tommy Blyle throwing some on net. Eric Valenius gets that last shot on net that just gets tipped. Chudzinski looking to get that one through the wickets of Peltier, unable to do so on that one, but a great shift there by the Moncton Wildcats, get a pair of shots early.
Steal a line from PK Subban, put the pucks on the net and draw penalties.
Yeah.
He has a number of them, but they all apply. Game 7, Marty and Aiden here at the Avenir Center. How exciting. Barbashev winning it for the Cats in 23 against Baie-Comeau. The last Game 7 here. Moncton taking that series. 5 into OT. New playoff record in the queue. The Armada have the puck in the Moncton corner, working the puck in. Captain Desnoyers shows up, good play. Around the boards to Lounsbury at the Moncton blue line. Across center ice, Valen decides to swing back in his own end to Depatie, back to Max Valen, and up the wing it goes. Tipped in by Mercier. That gets the puck in deep. Lounsbury is there. Desnoyers in the corner. Back to the blue line. Matt Virgilio. Not going to take any chances, ripping it in from there. Goaltender Peltier has it behind the net. No scored. Shots are 2-2. Not surprisingly, everything evened up. Fired in by Yernesio, number 2. Going into the corner, number 24, Jacob Beaulieu. Around the boards, the Cats start up the left side. It's in the center ice area. Dubé is there. Number 44, 14 goals on the year. Dubé will come in, long shot, easy glove save, Guimont from the blue line. And they're going to hold the fort. Going in now with the gloves up. Guess who? Jacob Beaulieu. They can expect that after the whistle. He'll come in and look for anything to get things going, and he's in there now. The referees are Jeff Hopkins and John Langell. No score. Avenir Center, Game 7, 11:56 to go. Chicoutimi awaits the winner. The other Final Fours are done in the West. They're down to 2 teams, Prince Albert and Everett, Kitchener and Barrie in the OHL. All roads lead to Kelowna, BC in late May. Aiden, good start by the Cats. Armada playing smart as well.
Yeah, they're going to be dragging them into the fight in front of the net after every whistle they get. The Armada are with the Wildcats, but you got to stay disciplined and you got to stay out of the box. Don't give the refs any excuse to call a penalty, especially in a game like this.
Armada get the face off. Galicic with a drive, wide rebound, scores! Parked at the post. First of the playoffs, Ludovic Grenier. Came off the backboards hot and he flipped it high on Guimont. 1-0 Armada, that one coming at 8:09. Time of the goal, Asudance Bienot.
That seems to be the story lately with this team. It's just some bad bounces in around the net, and Galicic gets this one off the face-off, a quick little one-time play, and it goes well wide, but bounces off the backboards right to Grenier, just to the right of Rudy Guimont. He's got an open cage to shoot at and doesn't make a mistake. And now with 11:51 to go in the first period, Armada strike first in Game 7.
Well, adversity brings the best out. The Cats down by 1 here in Game 7. Ludovic Grenier getting his first of the playoffs. 6-foot centerman from Quebec City. From the face-off, the puck in the Moncton zone. It'll go to Valen across to Evan Depatie. Depatie up ice, looking for center ice. He'll shoot it in from there. Ludovic Grenier at 8:09. Puck in behind the Armada zone. Living throws it around the boards, chopped up down the wing. Will that be icing? Valen going after it. They're going to wave it off. Valen in the corner protecting that puck. Here come the Cats. Valen's pass blocked through center. It'll be Chudzinski on the off wing coming in. Can he get the shot? Cuts to the middle, a shot! A chip shot! And may have just chipped it wide. Peltier hugging the post. Across the blue line, Tommy Blyle walks in. There's the drive, blocker save. Peltier with Chudzinski right there. Good shot, Moncton. Veronin cutting across to slam Desjardins into the boards. Tommy Blyle's behind the net. To Fortier-Gendron. Also a great puck-carrying defenseman. Here comes the veteran Fortier-Gendron at the blue line. To Captain Desnoyers. In front to Mercier. In front with the open net. I thought Blyle might shoot. Mercier wasn't in control of it. Back to Tommy Blyle at the right point in front. A tip by Mercier. Peltier awkwardly out of the net. Back to the blue line to Blyle. Tommy Blyle at the right point. Desnoyers at the net high. Knocked down in front by the Cats. Mercier looking for a play in front, and the Armada chop it out to the Cat blue line. Good pressure and a couple of good cracks at the net. Tommy Blyle. Moncton gets it up ice. Lounsbury is tied up. Loose puck in the neutral zone, comes to Carbonneau. Number 8 will dish it off to Urnesio in front. Cleared away by Tommy Blyle. Desnoyers down the right side in the neutral zone. Backhanded in by Lounsbury. Desnoyers chasing Gill in the corner. Good solid takeout by Desnoyers on the tall 15 Gill. There's a hit in the neutral zone. Nico Turnus knocking his man down. Vincent Collard. 1-0 Armada. Goal by Grenier at 8:09. Moncton fires it down the ice. Goaltender Peltier lost it. Desnoyers tied up as he was looking to fire it almost in an open net. Cornforth actually, and chipped down the wing by Collard in the Moncton corner. Valenia spins off a check. Teddy Mutrin is there. Back to Cornforth at the Moncton bench. Outlet pass. Turnus coming in, trying to get it by. Into the corner. Turnus will pick it up. Side of the net. Mutrin back to the blue line. Matt Virgilio. Quickly across to Valenius. Valenius at the side of the net to Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin back to Eric Valenius. Not shooting. Man in front. There it is. Save and rebound wide. Peltier got a blocker on that. Cornforth back at the blue line. Cornforth fires at the net. Off a skate. And the Armada will get it out to the blue line. Kept in by Moncton. Along the boards, Nico Turnus. Couldn't win the puck battle, and Ty Fair will slide one down the wing. Icing. Great pressure by Moncton. 8:43 to go. Peltier stopping the pucks he has a good look at. 1-0 Armada on a goal by Grenier. Good to see former Wildcat bus operator Bernie Hashey in the building. Bonsoir Bernard. Good to see you.
Well, this is just great to see that these guys are going right to work. They get a goal scored against them early in Game 7, and they're not backing down and getting on their heels. They're going right on the offense and right on the attack and right over the boards now with the attained pressure after the ice and the Gabe Smith line looking to go to work.
Our first period brought to you by Yip Cider. Welcome everybody on FloHockey TV and Wildcats Radio, wherever you may be. 8:43 to go in the opening period of Game 7, 1-0 Armada. Good pressure by the Cats. The Armada are going to fire one around the boards by Vincent Collard. No icing, I don't believe. Max Belen picks it up behind Rudy Guimard. Dishing it off to partner Depatie. Off the boards out to center. Gabe Smith couldn't take that hot pass. Smith will pick it up again in the neutral zone, giving it to Depatie. He'll wire it in from there. 1-0 Armada. Moncton leading in shots 5-4. Smith looking for Chudzinski. Slipped it back to the blue line, but coming down the wing is Elliot Dubé. Dubé's on the wing. There's the drive. Guimard save. Depatie is there. Evan Depatie behind the net. They're chasing him in the corner. Full stop. He'll go the other way. 8 minutes remaining in the opening period. 1-0. Velen, a long right wing pass off the stick of Chudzinski. He's going to go in the corner against the speedy Villeneuve. He lost it to Veronin. A centering pass. Moving in. There's the drive. Wide on the blocker side. Fortier-Gendron. Veronin on the boards. Back to the blue line. Across the blue line. Kept in by Moncton's 24. Gabe Smith battling in behind the net with Chudzinski and Veronin. Puck still in the Armada zone. They're going to dump it back in behind their net and settle things down. Through the center ice area. Chudzinski's at the Armada bench. Puck slid into the Moncton zone by L'Armada. 1-0. Meanwhile, at the Armada bench, Veronin can't seem to get free to get to his own bench. Linesman there. We have penalties on the play. They may be 2-2 on there on the exchange at the open door at the Armada bench. 7:12 to go, no score. Here we go.
Yeah, a bit of a cheer here. I think it's only the Armada going to the box, but it's going to be coincidental roughing minors, both to Veronin and Urnesio after they get tied up at neutral ice. Moncton's not going to like it as they had possession going through the neutral zone at the time, but that's the call, that's the play. 7:12 to go, down 1-0. Cats looking to put some pressure on.
Want to wish all the best of luck to Jacob Hudson and the Maine Mariners. Game 6 tonight against the Adirondack Thunder. Maine leads 3-2 for the Kelly Cup. Hudson, a big part of that Maine Mariner offense. Huddy, former Wildcat favorite here from Antigonish. No score, 7:09 to go. Offsetting Miners, 1-0. Grenier from Golicic and Ty Fair at 8:09. Came off the backboards really hot. Side of the net goal, up under the bar. Here come the Armada through center. Spencer Gill will drop it back to Bill Zonon. Coming into a slot area. Carbonneau shooting. Pad save Guimont on the arrival of Justin Carbonneau. Gill, a drop pass. Carbonneau's going to walk in off the wing. Tries to get one. Zonon parked at the post just wide. Carbonneau cuts to the middle. Drops it back. Lemieux shooting high on the glove side of Guimont. Kept in by the Armada. Moncton now has the puck. Tommy Blyle, slowly, not slowly anymore. Going through the neutral zone, he's dancing on the wing to Fortier-Jean, and on front to Blyle, and caught by Pelletier.
Lots of smart heads-up play there by Fortier-Jean. Draw knows that the guys are at the end of the shift. They were just heading in their own end for quite some time and able to get that one on net where Pelletier kind of has to hold on in that scenario, and they'll get a face-off now in the O zone and get a fresh pair of guys out on the ice as well as they look to tie this one up here. 6:19 to go in the first period now. 1:07 remaining in the coincidental roughings for FloHockey.
Pelletier and Guimont were stars in Game 6. Pelletier number 1 star, Guimont number 2. As the Armada won it in the last minute, forcing this big Game 7 here tonight. No, 1-0 Armada, 6:12 remaining in the opening period. Puck over the Moncton blue line. Desjardins lost it to Depatie. Depatie up ice. Gabe Smith will swing back into the zone. The Armada collapsing back to their blue line. Smith given a lot of room on that left side. Smith bounces his way by Golicic in front. A quick feed by Chudzinski. A wraparound. Chudzinski. 2 cracks. 3 cracks. It's in the pads. Down is Pelletier. Almost facing the back of the net. Wow. 3 cracks by Chudzinski at the goal mouth. Good work by that line. Gabe Smith again gets that puck to the front of the net. It remains a 1-0 Armada lead. 5:44 to go in the opening period.
Well, it was a similar play, Marty, to the one that gave the Cats the late lead back in Game 6 by Chudzinski, where they wrap it around in front and just whack at it a few times. Pelletier's completely spun around. He's got his back turned to Chudzinski, stopping that puck, able to somehow keep that one from crossing the goal line. But you like what you're seeing if you're a Cats fan here. They got behind the ball early, but they're right back on top of it and pressing hard here.
We'll take a 30-second break, Mr. Producer. League timeout time. The Armada lead Game 7, 1-0. It is early in the first period here at the Avenir Center. Wildcats hockey. Spire on FM Cats Radio. Centering pass to Denoyer, bouncing puck in the Armada zone. Welcome back, everybody. Tommy Blyle on the board. Seven Depatie will step off the paint, drop it to Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin at the net, and they score! Denoyer! Intelligent hockey players hooking up there. Teddy Mutrin at the net. Captain Denoyer is there to tip it home. In Glendenning, we get a 1-1 tie.
Well, just a smart heads-up play by Tommy Blyle. So smart, I don't think Depatie really knew that pass was coming, but he gets it to the far side, and he's able to hand it off to Teddy Mutrin, who knows to get that puck on net. He sees the captain in front with that stick on the ice, and he makes a perfect pass right to the tape, and he's able to deflect it over the right pad of Pelletier. We've got an even game, 1-1 here in the first period.
The Cats are back in it, 1-1. Buckle up, I'm going to say put the helmets on early. We're only in the first period, Game 7. It doesn't get any more exciting. All the cliches apply. 5:25 to go. Denoyer from, I believe, Mutrin and Depatie at 14:30. Time of the goal, Assurance Bienot. Here come the Armada through center. A little bit of a dance by Gill. Good play at the blue line, Gabe Smith. Big crowd here at the Avenir Center. Moncton ties things up. There's a broken play on the wing. Here comes Yernesio. Gabe Smith, good play to come back and intercept that pass. Belen off the boards. Veronin at the blue line, losing it. Moncton getting back to help out. Ryan Chudzinski now with the puck inside the Cat blue line. He's going to run through center. Chudzinski's over the line. Chudzinski goes to the front and slides into Peltier, along with the Armada Gill, and wide. Up on the boards, Moncton trying to keep it in. The Armada through center. Lemieux will simply fire it in. Guimard in behind the net to Evan Depatie. Off the boards to Max Bolen. We got a 1-1 tie, folks. Captain Denoyer. Lovely tip in. Teddy Mutrin feed from the blue line. Evan Depatie assisting as well, 14-30. Chicoutimi Sags await the winner. It'll open here at the Avenir. Here comes Max Bolen up the ice. Cornforth off wing. Feeds it into the corner and will race after the big tall Golicic. Mutrin is there to help out. They'll bounce it around the wall through center. Here come the Armada. Golicic over the line. Dropping it back to Carbonneau. It'll feed one to the net. Off a skate, fluttering in the other corner. It'll bounce back to the blue line. Ty Fair into the corner to Carbonneau. Nice play to Blyle. Pretty good hook by Carbonneau on Blyle. They continue battling in the corner. Teddy Mutrin always makes the right play. He'll get it to Nico Turnus through center. Turnus chasing. Zono will swing back in the Armada zone. Ty Fair now at the Armada blue line through center. Carbonneau will wrap it in. Intercepté. Fortier Gendron. Here he comes. Moncton's number 24. 1-1 tie. 3:29 to go. Cornforth brings it in over the blue line. Man on his back, Nobert. Nobert will pick it up. It's deflected in front and bounces around at center ice. Moncton doing a great job coming back. Valenius off the boards to Nico Turnus. Outlet pass, Captain Denoyer. The shot! Heavy shot on the stick side wide. At the blue line, thrown across the paint. Valenius is going to come in from the left side. Nobert trying to hold him. Denoyer will swing back now on the open wing. Blue line, Evan Depatie. Back to Denoyer, the drive. Tipped in front. Tied up, we had Mercier. And off the netting on a play. Moncton with some beautiful drop passes at the blue line, and they're getting pucks to the net here in a 1-1 tie.
Well, that was just such a nifty play made there in the neutral zone by Nico Turnus to kind of backhand that one off the sidewall through his legs right on the stick of Caleb Denoyer. And I love the mentality that the Wildcats have here early in this one, Marty. It's just shoot from anywhere, get pucks on net, and just make Peltier's night real busy. Get him working, get him tired, and that's what's going to win you hockey games, especially in a game like this, a Game 7. That's do or die.
1-1. Ludovic Grenier from Jan Golicic and Mathieu Taillefer at 8:09. Caleb Denoyer from Teddy Mutrin and Evan Depatie at 14:30. Fifth of the playoffs. There's a shot by Mercier off the draw. Mercier behind the net, looking for Denoyer. Binkley's in front of the net. It'll dribble off to the boards and the high chipper by the Armada out to the blue line. Bounces around quite a bit, and Vincent Collin will knock it into the corner. Loose puck, good help defensively by Binkley. Up to Denoyer, and he'll do the high lob, bouncing in front of the Armada net. Mercier checking Théo Lemieux. Big bouncing puck at center. Depatie in his own zone. Evan Depatie will leave it there through center. Mercier. Moncton changing. Long left wing pass. Gabe Smith. He cuts across the Armada blue line. Smith, backhander. Knocked down in front. Chudzinski was right there. Here come the Armada through center. Carbonneau along with Desjardins. It's flipped into the corner. Blyle and Carbonneau are there. Loose puck. Moncton coming back to help out. And a bouncing puck will roll to Fortier Gendron. He'll continue up ice. Fortier Gendron protects that puck and gets it around the boards. Nice play by Chudzinski, leaving it there. In the corner for the Cats, Smith. In behind the net, Chudzinski. Golicic on the boards to Carbonneau. Back that Zonon through center. Defenseman Ty Fair moves up on the wing. He's cutting in front. The shot by Blyle, and it sailed over Guimard on a deflection. 1-1 tie. 1:29 to go. Moncton out shooting L'Armada 10-6. Here comes Veronin. Generating speed over the line. Try to drag move on Bill Zonon, didn't work. Chudzinski's in the corner. Gabe Smith along the boards. Smith turning. Smith not shooting. Back to Veronin. Veronin cuts to the middle. Shot! Deflected in front, and it sailed over the Armada net of Peltier. Flipped off the boards out to center. De Petit will scoot back and get it. Back to Eric Valenius, a minute to go. Valenius through center, right on the money. Teddy Mutman's over the blue line, quick shot, rebound, whoa! It hopped over Turnus' stick. That had goal all over it and just did not settle down for Nico Turnus. Flipped down the wing by Big Laving, and Guimont will hold on. That was close. Moncton Wildcats getting shots on the net. The rebound to Turnus, Aiden. It hopped over his stick.
Well, it's just goes to show what a goal can do for a player. Like we said, Turnus had went so long without scoring. His first goal since Game 5 was all the way back in Game 2 of Round 1. He finally gets on the board, and I like how he's been playing these last few games where he's really in the mix offensively and getting chances. A nice heads-up play there by Teddy Mutman to chuck that one on low, try and generate a rebound. He does, but unfortunately for Turnus, takes a bad bounce and unable to get the shot away.
1-1 tie. There's a long shot by the Armada. It'll come back to the blue line. Quick drive again. That's an easy glove save by Guimont off Xavier Villeneuve. Villeneuve, of course, tied the game in the final minute. Goalie on the bench in a crowd. It did hit our goaltender Guimont, but fell in behind him, leading to that dramatic goal by Mr. Carbonneau. 35 seconds to go. 1-1 tie. Face off to Guimont's left.
Well, that's the adversity you need on a run like this. We talked about it. Last year's team never really had too much adversity all the way to their championship, but little adversity never hurt anybody, and that's what can make a champion.
Game 7 from the face-off. Not done fairly. Linesman, veteran linesman, done better. Jay Dueron and Matty Hicks recently putting in game number 500 in the queue. Way to go, Matty. 1-1 tie, game 7. Big crowd Tuesday night. Chicoutimi-Saguenay taking out Rwanda 4 games to 2. Here comes Blyle. A reverse behind the net to partner Fortier-Gendron. Long right wing pass at the Armada bench. Mercier will step over the line. Captain Denoyer poke checked at the last second. They're back out at center ice. Lyle's going to feed it into the zone. 17 seconds to go. It's in the corner. Stolen by Lounsbury. Mercier behind the net chasing Gill. Gill spins off a check. Mercier's not given up and has it. Back to the blue line. Lounsbury back in the corner. Mercier. We got 4 seconds to go. Chipped around the boards by l'Armada, and that should do it here for the opening period of play. Wow. 1-1. We'll get the shots of JR momentarily here at the Avenir Center. Game 7, what a period of hockey.
Shots on goal at the end of the first period. Lancé au filet à la fin de la première période. Wildcats 12, 12. Armada 8.
12-8. We'll get Aiden's take on the first period coming up. Our first period brought to you by Slush Puppy. 1-1 tie here before a huge crowd at the Avenir Center. Game 7 in this Q semifinal series. Chicoutimi-Saguenay await the winner. This is Wildcats hockey on FloHockey TV from downtown Moncton. Welcome back to the Avenir. Game 7. All the advanced billing. We're now seeing that here. Aiden Glendenning 1-1 after 1. How did it all look?
Well, off the start, seeing the Wildcats might have been a bit, sitting back a bit, kind of feeling out the Armada in this one. But as soon as that first goal went in, that went right to business and right to work. They understood the urgency that they needed in this game. And in Game 7, you give up a goal early, you got to answer. And they did exactly that, hitting right up on the offense. Defense getting involved too. Things you like to see if you're a Cats fan early in that first period going into Game 7, now looking towards the second.
Goaltenders looking good. Both Guimont and Zach Pelletier playing a second game.
Yeah, for Guimont, I really like his response in this one. It's it's coming off a tough game for him, like looking at it, through pretty plainly. He had a tough go in the final minute. Maybe not to his credit, maybe it was, but at the end of the day, he comes out here, battles hard. That tough one again, a tough one that takes a bounce off a wall, right? It's something that you're not really prepared for, but I like how he's bounced back. And for Pelletier, still looks pretty strong, but the Cats are getting him moving. They're getting some opportunities. They could have had a few in that opening period, but he made some big saves.
Thank you, Aidan Glendenning. 1-1 after one. When we come back, Craig Eagles neutral zone. Scott Briggs, Post Media. Marty at the Avenir with Aidan Glendenning. Game 7, 1-1 after one. We'll be back with more on FloHockey TV. Great, thanks.
Radio or TV or both?
Both.
Both? How close should I be to Craig? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Welcome back to the Avenir Center. The Q reporters just keep rolling in off the carousel. We've got Craig Eagles here from from Neutral Zone. Scott Briggs, Post Media. Well, very entertaining period of hockey. Armada get the first one, and then Moncton kind of started skating again, or what happened in that first period, Craig, Scott?
Well, I thought the first 5-6 minutes, Moncton was tight, nervous, a few ill-advised passes, and you could see the nervousness. Go figure, Game 7.
Yeah.
But as that period went on, they started to assert their strengths, and I just loved Ryan Chajinski's first period. You got to go to the net with purpose in a game like this. You got to get your fingers, your nose dirty, some dirt under your fingernails, and dig for that net. And Gabe Smith was also playing at times like a guy who wants to be a factor in this game, and he's going to have to be. They have to make life difficult in front of that net for the Armada.
Greg.
Well, first and foremost, you can't sit back, right? You can't be on your heels. Moncton were in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes. Their gap control too far back. They need to be up. Their strength is their speed on the back end.
When you say gap control, to the many thousands listening, you mean the defenseman to the forward, the length of the pass?
Well, that, but also the D are backing way too far in. They got to be up on the play, and that's just being hesitant. They got to show some urgency and not want to make all these mistakes, right? Go out there, be assertive, like Briggsy was saying. But again, they got to get shots through. Pelletier's a little shaky in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that period. So gap control and their neutral zone. Moncton owned the neutral zone all season long. You got to come back and support the puck for good transition. The stretch pass is good and all, but you're chasing it. When they came back and exited their zone with speed, they had a scoring chance off that rush. They need to just sharpen up a little bit. The Armada, great road period. You're not giving up too much, but what can we say about Teddy Mutrin and Caleb Desnoyers? A lot of people, the undercurrent here around the city and around the league, Caleb needs to start scoring. He needs to do this. He needs to be better. He responds in Game 7. And Teddy Mutrin has been outstanding all season long. He drags his teammates into the fight. He's done that. And to Briggsy's point, Chajinski's done that all year, right? And has worked his way up from an energy line to a top 6 role, and he doesn't look out of place out there.
Yeah, he wears that power forward label well, Ryan. I would agree, good strong period by 22.
Yeah, and I think he was elevating Veronen's game before Veronen was in the penalty box. Veronen was playing with an intensity that I wouldn't say I haven't seen it before, but extra intensity, making body contact, not just being a guy who's a factor with the puck. And to Craig's point, Boisbriand, the Armada in their own end, they can run just enough interference for it not to be interference. They're comfortable with giving up the shot to the point because they have someone just near enough to make it either go off to the side or to not get directly to the net. Now, Moncton did have a few shots, but they hang tough in their own end, and Moncton's got to make them pay at some point. This is a big period coming up, obviously.
They have a lot of layers defensively, the Armada, and they're always there, and they're always supporting guys. And I think we talked about it, throughout the series. Their adversity, they faced it all year long. They had role players stepping in because of injury. They had role players playing top 6 minutes. That's pressure in itself. They're battle tested based on what they experienced. And now Moncton's being pushed. And now, right, if you're a role player and a depth player for the Moncton Wildcats, you got to bear down and make plays and execute. And we saw that in spurts on both sides.
Yep.
Nothing to save it for. I just like that Chajinski approach, and Gabe Smith, and if Caleb can keep going, Denwaya can keep going to the net, and creating chaos in front of that net without crossing the line and getting too silly about it. You got to be smart but aggressive. It's a fine balance, but I think they were right there.
Those are great points you both made. I like the light interference analogy because I would agree. Just enough to get you off and they're blocking shots, and they're clearing it in the corner, which is job done.
Well, they're
job
doing
one.
Everything that a road team would do in a Game 7 situation.
Keep it simple.
Exactly, and you don't want to shoot yourselves in the foot, right? But if you're Moncton, you got to key in on Spencer Gill. And if you're the Armada, if they're going to give you time and space, let your D lug the puck. And I'll tell you, they've got to on the Moncton side, they've got to do a better job in transition to take the open man. And you got to have your head on a swivel because they're sending 4 guys. And if they have possession on the zone entry, you got to watch the trailer. You can't be puck watching because they'll make you pay.
Absolutely, guys. Appreciate your comments for the first period. Craig and Scott here at the Avenir Center, Game 7. It's 1-1 after 1. We'll be back with more on the Slush Puppy Intermission on Wildcats Radio and FloHockey TV from Moncton's Avenir Center.
All right.
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. That was just awesome. Thank you, Scott. It was an effort. Yeah, I know. Beautiful. They're gonna get one. Yep, I would agree. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Generations of New Brunswickers know they can count on Ritchie's. Whether it's a new build or a reno, residential or commercial, Ritchie's stock everything you need, from budget-friendly fixes to the latest trends. Our staff knows their product. Ask us how we can help. With millions in inventory, choose cash and carry or have your floor installed by our expert technician. Ritchie's, covering the Maritimes since 1966.
Ritchie's, come on down. Ritchie's got the warehouse.
Perfect adventure awaits you at Yip Cider. Wander through our sun-kissed orchards, handpick your favorite apples, and enjoy the taste of fall in every bite. Come relax at our tap room, where our farm-fresh ciders bring you the best of the harvest season all year round. For family outings, date nights, or just the perfect getaway. Yip Cider is nestled on the banks of the St. John River in Long Reach, New Brunswick. Visit us today and taste the season like never before.
Tremper, arroser, déguster, assaisonner ou juste comme ça. Il y a 1000 façons de savourer les frites des fermes Cavendish. Mais une seule façon de les faire. La bonne façon. Cultiver, récolter, laver, couper, inspecter et emballer. Juste de la bonne façon. Les fermes Cavendish. Faites à notre façon, savourez à votre façon.
Welcome back, everybody. You're defending Gilles Courteau, league champion Moncton Wildcats, and Armada, Blainville-Boisbriand, 1-1 after one. Moncton out shooting the Armada 12-8. Moncton's goal, Caleb Denoyer, tip in. Great feed from Teddy Buford just inside the blue line. On a drop pass, Evan Depati at 14:30. Ludovic Grenier off the backboards from Jan Golicic and Mathieu Taillefer, the Armada goal. All right, Mr. Glendenning, period number 2 coming up.
Well, a big period, Marty. And historically, the Cats have done well so far this postseason during the second period. I believe they've scored the most goals during the playoffs in the second period. They go straight to Gabe Smith, Barone, and Tudzinski to start this one up. And Mikael Tam was drawing stuff up on the whiteboard just prior to this faceoff.
Moncton skating left to right for the radio audience. FloHockey TV Hope you're enjoying this game.
By Rogers.
All right, 1-1 tie. The Armada are going to slide it down in the cat zone. Blyle off the backboards. Fortier-Jean right up the middle of the ice. Gabe Smith now straight up the ice over the blue line. Cuts to his left. A drop pass. Chudzinski. Great stick save by Peltier on the blocker side. Chudzinski again, point blank range. Almost 2-1 Cats. Tommy Blyle's in the corner. He'll give it to Fortier-Jean. Back to Tommy Blyle through center. Blyle is going to carry that puck in. Decided to go lateral. Gabe Smith brings it over the line. Smith will sling it in behind the net. Out the other side. Cuts to the middle. Gabe Smith cannot get by Carbonneau, but knocks him down. Smith, Carbonneau picking up a stick in front of the net. Intercepted by Desjardins. Veronin covered. And Desjardins will get to center and slip it down on the wing. Carbonneau knocked off the puck. Good work there by Veronin. Veronin now through center. At the line, picked up by Chudzinski. Captain Desnoyers moving in. The shot! That hit Golicic. It'll bounce in front of the Armada goal. 1-1 tie, 18:46 to go. Moncton out shooting the Armada 13-8. Yernesio puts it in the corner in the cat zone, stepping out of the corner. And at the net, wide of Guimond. Wow, and a quick shot by the Armada. Moncton flips a high one out to center. Lemieux, 28, over the line. He's going to continue battling on the boards. Back to the blue line, kept in by Golicic. Desnoyers lead pass. Lounsbury down the left side with Mercier. Lounsbury, the stick broke in two just as he went to take the shot. Mercier's in the corner. Back to Captain Desnoyers. In front, Lounsbury shooting, and a glove save by Peltier, and that long one-timer by Lounsbury.
Well, nice hot start for the Wildcats here in the second period, Marty. And looked like Lounsbury was going to make his mark. The hometown kid had a chance to put the Cats up 2-1 with a stick. Breaks at the last second on the partial 2-on-1 with him and Mercier. He goes to the bench, gets a new one, wires a one-timer. A nice save made by Peltier to keep that one out off a resilient Lounsbury looking to make his mark here.
Peltier, 19-year-old goaltender, 6'4", 191 from Mont-Laurier, Quebec. 1-1 tie, 18 to go in the second period of Game 7. Max Barbashev had an overtime win in Game 7 here in 2023, beating Baie-Comeau. 5 of the 7 into overtime. Puck fired on the top of the boards in the Armada zone. They're back into the corner. Villeneuve knocked off the puck cleanly by Cornforth. Cornforth around in the corner. Nico Turnus going in with Filai. Here come the Armada through center. Intercepted on the way back. Little toe drag move through the neutral zone. Cornforth on the wing to Turnus. Let that shot go. Mutrin rebound. Off a stick of Villeneuve. Luckily, Mutrin looking for that rebound. Back comes Matteo Nobert. Chipping it by Depatie in the corner. Depatie good reverse to Max Belen. The Cats moving that puck in this period. A long right wing pass. Intercepted and wristed back in by Lemieux in the Cat zone. Belen tried to flip it high. Intercepted by the Armada. In the corner, number 11, Matt Gosselin. Back to the blue line to Gill. There's the drive. Guimond down. Side of the net. Good save. They'll center one. The Armada bringing it on the wing. Desjardins centers one. Guimond will trap that and hold on.
Well, Guimond has kept this one at a 1-1 game, Marty. Some miscommunication in the D zone for the Wildcats where Mutrin and Cornforth didn't know if who of the two were going to take the high guy trailing in, and they get a clean look from the point there through traffic. Gets through to Guimond, rebound just to his left. He's able to sprawl out and get that left pad just enough to steal off the post and keep that rebound chance out and keep this one 1-1 here in the second period.
16:56 to go. Welcome everybody to Wildcats hockey. How exciting, Game 7. Good evening everybody on a free FloHockey YouTube night. The Wildcats Radio Network in Southeast NB. Moncton, Dieppe, Riverview, Sussex, Bouctouche. 1-1 from the faceoff. Fortier-Jean bombs it up the wing in the neutral zone. Ryan Chudzinski across the neutral zone. Fortier-Jean can carry that puck. There's the shot and a glove save by Peltier on the high wrist shot. I must say Peltier's looked very competent in goal for the Armada. A lot of concern with him coming in with not much playing time in favor of William Lascelles.
Well, the defense have really stepped up, Marty. They're getting in shooting lanes and making it hard for the Cats to get pucks through to get to Peltier in the first place. When there, not long ago, a chance just to the left of Peltier. Teddy Mutrin had a wide open cage and was Villeneuve able to get the stick in on that one and make sure it didn't go into the back of the net.
All right, face-off to the left of Peltier. 1-1 tie in Game 7. Off the face-off in behind the net. Good forechecking by Smith. Veronin, Chudzinski. Here come the Armada through center. They fire it in the zone, but Blah with that lightning speed gets it off the boards out on the wing. Veronin down his off wing. Electrifying. He'll cut on the backhand. Full stop, a shot right into Peltier. They'll make the save. NHL boys tonight. We've got Minnesota. I don't think they're going to want to run and gun with Colorado anymore.
Yeah.
9-6 Avalanche in the opener. How about the Canadians? They're going to open in Buffalo tomorrow night. I don't want to mention Aiden, but in 1993, the Habs won their last cup. They also beat Buffalo on the way to the cup. Buffalo happened to eliminate Boston that year. Just saying.
I mean,
you
win a Game 7 with 9 shots. I mean, you might have someone in your corner. There might be, the hockey gods might be helping you out. I don't know.
Wasn't it 10 or was it 9?
I think it was 10, but then they stat corrected it like the final minute, made it 9.
Hey, 9 shots. All right, that's tomorrow night. 1-1 tie here, Game 7. At the Armada blue line, Big Leving will chip it high over Depatie and race into the corner. Depatie gets it in the other corner, but Leving is there. He'll throw it back to the left point. Golicic with a drive. Bad save, I believe, or Valenius. And here come the Cats up ice. Mercier trying to get by his man. He does. He's going to roll it to Cornforth in front of the net. And the Armada defending well. They're going to come down the left side. Lemieux. Wide watch by Depatie. In behind the net to Eric Valenius. Valenius comes out the boards. Knocked down. Desnoyers follows up. Caleb Desnoyers snaps it across to Evan Depatie. Long left wing pass at the Moncton bench. Cornforth continues into the corner on Taillefer. Cornforth drubbed off the puck. It's thrown around the boards. In comes Virgilio. Good play. Riley Sampson's going to refeed it back in behind Peltier. Cornforth fights off a check. In front to Sampson, a drive. That hit a leg. Cornforth at the net. Knocked down, they score! Moncton scores, Cornforth! 2-1 Cats. At 4:40, Cornforth knocking bigger, heavier players off the puck. He kept it in. A shot at the net, Aiden, and it somehow found its way behind Peltier.
Well, this one stays in the zone all because of number 23, Riley Sampson. He's able to cradle that one all the way at the blue line, Marty, and keep it in and get it to Gavin in the first place. Cornforth, almost a similar play to his hat-trick goal in Game 1, Round 1 against the Sea Dogs, where he circles along the top near the blue line, through traffic, throws it on net, and a bit of a trickler gets past Zach Peltier, and the Cats, who have been pressing here to start the second period, finally break through and now lead this Game 7 by a score of 2-1.
Shots are 18-11 at 4:40. Gavin Cornforth, long wrist shot just inside the blue line. Peltier got a piece of it, but it dropped in behind him. 2-1 Moncton here in Game 7.
Gavin Cornforth, assisted by number 23 avec l'aide du numéro 23, Riley Sampson. Time of the goal, 4:40, à 4 minutes 40 secondes.
Merci beaucoup. JR, John Richard to our left up here at the Avenir. Great play. The Cats are skating. They have a 2-1 lead here on home ice in Game 7. 15-10 to go in the second. Moncton skating left to right. Face off to the left of Guimont. Good clean win by Gabe Smith again. Portier-Jean around the boards. Can't leave the zone too early. Zana's going to keep it in. Bouncing puck in the corner. Good reverse around the boards. Veronin is there. He'll power down the left side, cut across the middle, over the Armada blue line, dropping it to Smith in front, looking for Chudzinski coming in. Back to the blue line. Tom Blyle, top of the circle, shot, and Peltier will find that in a crowd and hold on off Tommy Blyle.
Well, I really like how the defense are getting involved here in the second period, Marty. There's a number of chances by either Fortier-Jean, Depatie, Villain, Blyle, you name it. They're on their blue line and they're able to jump up and make some chances happen in the O-zone. Stuff you like to see when you're generating stuff, because you know you could move with the 3 guys up front all you want, but it's when you get those guys at the back activated that it makes some trouble for the guys playing defense on the other end, and that's where you create your scoring opportunity. It's a good look for the Wildcats as they continue to press here.
Moncton Wildcats 2, Armada 1. Game 7, 14:46 to go. Spencer Gill wraps it around the boards and chopped out, but kept in nicely by Valenne. Back to Lounsbury in the corner. Lounsbury battling for that puck. Spencer Gill around the boards. Depatie will move in on Nobat, and he'll throw it through the neutral zone. Lavigne will chip it in the corner and try to dance by Valin in there. The two big players go into the boards heavily. Valin falling awkwardly on the check, not intentional. Centered by the Armada, but the Red Sweaters are there of Lounsbury and Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin comes up ice. Always puck ahead into the corner. Lounsbury digging on Spencer Gill. Gill steps out, number 15. Riverview native, tall Philadelphia Flyer draft pick. He'll swing back again under the relentless pursuit of Preston Lounsbury. 14 to go in the second period. Tornes will knock it down at the boards. In front of the net. Can they get a shot away? Back to Valin. On the boards to Lounsbury. In the corner to Denoyer. Chipped high off the boards. Out to center. And I believe that's a high stick or glove to glove. 13:48 to go. There's the buzzer. Avenir Center, huge crowd in between 7,000 and 8,000. Moncton 2, Armada 1, Game 7. Marty and Aiden here in the Avenir on FloHockey TV. Welcome back to the Avenir Center. If you're just tuning in, pull up a chair, put your helmet on. 13:48 to go in the second period. Moncton 2, Armada 1, Game 7. Cats out shooting L'Armada 19-12. Quite a series, all three. Armada wins by 3-2. Cats have a couple of 6-2 wins and 5-4 in Game 2. Here come the Armada through center. Over the line, a Moncton player, Mercier, getting up slowly. I didn't see the play. Was he the victim of some retribution out there? Back comes Gavin Cornforth down the right side. Cornforth going into the corner with Ty Fair. Mercier tries to jump in ahead, knocked down by Golicic. Back to the blue line for the Cats, and Valenius. When he went to take the shot, the puck bobbled outside the line. Cornforth having a great period on the line. Chopped in by Mercier. Picked up by the Armada. Moncton speed. Definitely a weapon. There's a long stretch pass. Vincent Collard will tip it in behind Rudy Guimont. 2-1 Moncton, 12:54 to go in the second period here of Game 7. Chicoutimi Sagdayan await the winner. Under Yannick Jean, 6-game victory over at Rouyn-Noranda. Here comes Cornforth over the line. Pardon me, Chudzinski. There's a shot and a right pad save by Peltier as he somehow got by everybody. Another drive by Gabe Smith from the blue line. At the blue line, Tommy Blyle kept in nicely by Veronin. Filai behind the net. Chudzinski pins him on the boards. Moncton forechecking and skating well. Loose puck. It's now through center ice. It'll be lobbed to the Moncton blue line, but batted right back into the corner. Chudzinski going in, and Filai will get there just ahead of Ryan Chudzinski. Icing on the Cats barely. 12:17 to go. Moncton hitting the 20-shot mark on Zach Peltier. 2-1 Cats lead here.
Yeah, nice chance there. Kind of develops out of nowhere as Chudzinski cuts to the middle on that last offensive rush and takes a couple bobbles around him, but it comes right back onto the tape of his stick. He's able to get a clean look away. A nice low pad save made by Peltier as the Cats trying to extend their lead here in the second period.
Face off to the right of Guimont. Good face-off win kicked back by Gabe Smith. Veronin coming through center to Ryan Chudzinski. Crossed up at the blue line. Zanon gave one away. Good read by Veronin, stealing it from Bill Zanon. Blyle is going to feed it into the corner. Gabe Smith in there battling his man Villeneuve. Chudzinski strong on the boards always. Bill Zanon. Carbonneau will flip one out to center to Zanon. The shifty number 9 will flow it into the corner in the Cat zone. Desjardins fighting his man. Up come the Cats out to center. Loose puck in that neutral zone is Carbonneau. Long right wing pass Bill Zonot getting one to the net, and showing up out of nowhere is the mercurial skater Tommy Blyle. Coming through center, Blyle dancing down the right side, cuts to the middle, a shot, blocked in front. It ends up to Nico Turnus behind the net. On the other side, open on the wing, and a high chipper by the Armada down to the Cat blue line. Fortier-Gendron up on the wing, across center, intercepted, coming down, there's a shot, Guimont pad save on number 10, Léo Lemieux. They threw it across the neutral zone. Hearts were stopping here at the Avenir. Teddy Mutrin now with the puck. He's going to continue going on Spencer Gill. They both fall, but Mutrin gets right back up. Lounsbury dishing it off to Mutrin. Mutrin turning and firing into Peltier. But a clear view of that, and no rebound. 10:53 to go. The blood pressure went up when that puck goes across the neutral zone. Slow pass picked off by an Armada player, but Guimont good save on that slap shot.
Yeah, just some miscommunication there, thinking that Turnus was going to hang back just that half a second longer, but he's moving up the ice quickly. That pass in behind him and easily read there by Theo Lemieux to pick that one off. A good back check to keep him to the outside, and a nice save made by Rudy Guimont to keep this team ahead in this one with 10 to go in the second frame.
2-1 Moncton, goals to Caleb Denoyer from Teddy Mutrin and Evan Depatie, Gavin Cornforth from Riley Sampson. 2-1, puck in the Armada zone, battling on the boards. Mercier quickly pushed off the puck. In the other corner, Gill. Cornforth comes up with it though. It's high up on the boards, and the Armada will churn down the right side and hit the blue line. Hard worker Matt Gosselin tries to throw one high in the corner, deflected out of play. 10:33 to go. Yeah.
Well, coming into this one, it is just a matter of stars, like whose stars are going to shine brightest here in a do-or-die Game 7. And so far, knock on wood here is the home broadcast, but Caleb Denoyer and Teddy Mutrin able to step up huge on that first goal, Marty. And that second one gets down in the lineup with Riley Sampson able to generate something for Gavin Cornforth. Up and down. Cats are looking sharp here so far in this one.
10:33 to go in the second period. Face off to Rudy Guimont left in the Cat zone. Humongous crowd here at the Avenir. Game 7. Matt Virgilio in behind the net, wrists it high off the boards, right onto the stick of Mercier. Across the blue line, Denoyer fading to his left. He'll fire one at the net, caught by Peltier. Again, a clear view of the shot. Easy glove save, Zach Peltier. To get here, the Armada swept Victoriaville 4 straight, and the Newfoundland Regiment 4 games to 2. Your Wildcats 4-0 over the St. John Sea Dogs, and the Val d'Or Forêt 4 straight as well. Here we are, Game 7 in this Final 4. Moncton defeated Baie-Comeau in Game 7 in this building in 2023. Max Barbashev, the winner in double OT. Off the face-off, Turnus a drive, and he couldn't get the full shot away. Armada were right on him. There's a long play out to center. Depatie off the boards, inside the zone. Mutrin chasing. Mutrin steals. Teddy Mutrin swings back. Lounsbury's in the corner. Back to Mutrin, back to Lounsbury. At the net, blocked again by the Armada. Teddy Mutrin back to the blue line. Depatie across the blue line. Valen steps off the pond. Long shot. Flutters off the trapper of Peltier high. It'll be in the corner, and a high flip by L'Armada out to center. Urnesio can't catch up to the puck. He'll wipe out on his own. Nico Turnus coming through center. Along the boards, here comes Teddy Mutrin. Turnus going to the net. Mutrin shooting, and Peltier. A beautiful save. Teddy Mutrin. Toe drag to the middle. Good wrist shot. Peltier, wearing 32, took it on the chest. A big 6'4" tender. And a good play by Peltier and Teddy Mutrin. 2-1 Moncton.
Well, just a nice feed cross ice by Preston Lounsbury, able to find Teddy almost all alone, and he walks into that one. I think he had more time than maybe he thought of to hold on to that one even a half a second longer and get a different angle, but Alexis shooting a great flyby made by Nico Turnus to try and get in the eyes of Peltier, but the 6'4" goaltender, like you said, all the way at the top of the blue, cuts down the angle.
Off the face-off, it'll come back to Tommy Blyle, middle of the blue line for Ronan. There's the drive, it tipped just wide in front. Gabe Smith got that long stick on it. It ends up in the corner. Chudzinski back to Gabe Smith. They're going to cycle that up the wall. Smith at the blue line. Blyle quickly across the paint to Fortier-Gendron. Carbonneau, outlet pass to Bill Zonot. Here come the Armada. Villeneuve at the line. Zonot with a shot high on the glove side of Guimont. It sails back to the blue line. Veronin now in full flight. Cuts in on the back end. Cuts to the middle. And he wiped out Slipping on the skates, back come the Armada. Desjardins, front of the net. Zono in front, the open net, and they score. Open man, 72 Villeneuve, I believe. Armada tied up on the ensuing rush after Veronin lost his footing, and the Armada flew up the ice. 2-2.
Yeah, the Cats just kind of went all in on that offensive chance by Veronin, and Chudzinski and Gabe Smith going down low looking for a potential rebound. Had Veronin been able to get a shot on net, and they get caught flat-footed and back the other way, an odd man rush. A nice feed there by Desjardins to just thread the needle to Zonad down low, and he's able to make his own pass over to Villeneuve, and he's got an open net to shoot at. That's 2 of the Armada goals where Rudy Guimont has no chance on it. We're tied at 2s with 8:57 to go in the second period of Game 7.
Yeah, they joined the rush. Up come 4 Armada really on that ensuing attack. 2-2 tie in Game 7. Villeneuve getting goal number 6 of the playoffs. 11:03, time of the goal. Assurance Bienot. 23 shots to 14. Cornforth, Desnoyers, Mercier piled up in the corner. The Armada will step out. Long pass on the wing to Matteo Nobat. He's at the Moncton blue line battling Despatie. On the boards to Lavigne. Going back in is Mercier, in behind the net to Max Belen. Belen looking to play it up on the boards. Cornforth is there. Kept in by the Armada once again. The puck bouncing around a great deal. Back to the blue line for the Armada. Shot, knocked down in front and cleared off out of harm's way to the wing. Despatie's in the corner to Max Belen around the boards. Cornforth trying to catch up. The Armada back in behind the net. It'll squirt out to Desnoyers. Back to the blue line. Mercier comes down the right side over the Blainville blue line looking for Cornforth in the corner on Gill. Cornforth reversing it, but he's all alone. Line change, 7:57 to go. Kept in by the Cats. Riley Sampson again on the boards. Intercepted. And back comes Vincent Collard, the ex-Cat, over the blue line. He'll feed one at the top of the circle. Back to Collard. A pad save by Guimont. And it came right out to Collard once again. Good forechecking by Liam Bursaw. 2-2 tie. The Armada battling all the way here. Riley Sampson back to the Cat defense corps. Through center. Neutral zone. Binkley losing it. It'll be Despatie on the boards, off the boards. The Armada flip it into an open area. Matt Virgilio will hustle over to get it. In behind the net, Virgilio round the boards. It'll come loose. Binkley off the boards. Ty Fair watching him. Ty Fair back to partner Golicic. 2-2 tie. Villeneuve from Zono and Desjardins at 11:03. Puck in the Moncton zone. Yernesio in behind the net to Matt Virgilio. It'll roll to Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin in behind the net to Virgilio. Knocked down in the corner. Virgilio, good play to get it back to partner Eric Valenius. Valenius comes up the boards. Puck is in the neutral zone. Not much room. Players fighting for those pucks. 2-2 tie here in Game 7. Carbonneau is inside the blue line. Carbonneau cuts to an open area. The shot. Guimont right pad save on the sniper Carbonneau. Teddy Mutrin will bull his way through center. Intercepted the Armada. Trying to clog up that neutral zone on the speedy Moncton Wildcats here. Villeneuve will throw in dangerously out to center. Cats will intercept. Nico Turnus coming back. Turnus over the line. Turnus puts on the brakes. He's got 3 Armada watching him. To Golicic in the corner. 6:15 to go. 2-2 tie. Up to center. Blyle tying up his man. Carbonneau comes over the line. He'll drop it to Bill Zono. Carbonneau trying to get by a couple of Wildcats. It's in front. Moncton stacks the front of the net. It came back to Carbonneau. And the Cats will get the puck and try to slow things down a bit. Gabe Smith now. Up ice. Smith through center. And it's directed in the Moncton bench by Yernesio. 5:51 to go. That goal seemed to pick up the Armada. They're being a little dangerous here in the latter part of the second period, Aiden. 2-2 tie.
Yeah, the tying goals definitely went to the legs of the Armada, and they're getting their chances and their looks here right now. Wildcats just have to get back to their game, back to how they were playing to start this second period, and they'll be in good shape. But right now, they'll take this time out to kind of nice to have a chance to regroup here as they get set for the final push.
We'll take a 30-second break. Producer Adam McLaren. 2-2 tie. Second period action. Game 7 at the Avenir on Wildcats Hockey on the Inspire FM radio network. Moncton 2, the Armada 2, Game 7. Welcome back, everybody. Shout out Jacoby Weiner at the Moncton bench. Goals to Caleb Desnoyers, Gavin Cornforth, Ludovic Grenier, Xavier Villeneuve for l'Armada under Alexandre Jacques. Former Q-star and a long career playing in the AHL and European hockey. Off the side of the net, intercepted by Mercier. He's given a pretty good tug from behind. The Armada throw it out to their blue line. Nobert straight ahead. Racing after that, Gosselin with Villain. 2-2 tie, 5:25 to go. Battling in the corner for the Cats, Cornforth and Villain, and to Armada. It comes up the boards briefly. The Armada trying to control it. Not in any hurry. Cornforth will fall. It's chopped back in behind Rudy Guimond. Evan Depatie around the boards to Mercier. Mercier pinned immediately, couldn't get it out. Depatie on the boards with a high stick. Max Villain will take it out of danger in behind the net. And the Armada changing as well. 2-2, Game 7, 4:54 to go. Moncton out shooting l'Armada 23-16. Villain still behind the net. And waiting patiently at the post, Olivier Lemieux outsteps Villain up to Caleb Desnoyers. Desnoyers will swing back in the zone. Long pass up the middle. Gavin Cornforth back to Evan Depatie, across to Max Villain. Villain along the blue line, gets it up on the boards at the Moncton bench. Not clicking with the pass, and they'll rip it in from there. That could be icing, but played by the goaltender. 4:23 to go. Big chess game out there between both teams. Looking for some loose pucks. Shot in by the Armada. Eric Valenius in behind the net, throws it in the corner. Vincent Collard is there. Eric Valenius comes up with the puck. Good outlet pass, Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin coming down an open wing. Right swing pass, Nico Turnus. Turnus puts on the brakes. In front to Blyle. They score! Tommy Blyle! 3-2. Great feed, Nico Turnus. And at 16:02 of the second period, Moncton's Tommy Blyle walks into a loose puck and rips it home. We get a 3-2 Moncton lead in Glendenning.
Well, that's his 5th of the postseason, Marty, and what an effort by Tommy Blyle. He seems to show up when it matters most, and just prior, a nice breakout here by the Wildcats. Mutrin able to feed it off to Tornes to his right, and Tornes, the ability to stop up, find Blyle rushing in alone. He's got a lane, doesn't make a mistake on that one as he blasts it past Peltier. A big selly to the crowd, and the Cats back up 1 with 3:58 to go in the second frame.
Low on the glove side, Tommy Blyle, Moncton's leading scorer during the regular season. Rookie defenseman, winner of the Emile Bouchard Trophy, best defenseman, winner of the Sid Crosby Trophy as top rookie. There's another trophy which escapes me right now, and I'll do my notes. Anyway, Tommy Blyle, what a great shot. But a great play to Aiden's point by Nico Turnus. 3:56 to go. 3-2 Moncton here in Game 7. Fired in by the Cats off the faceoff. Blyle from Nico Turnus. Chudzinski battling in behind the net. The Armada going with their big line out there, Carbonneau. JR doing the announcement here on the assist.
And number 14, le numéro 14, Teddy Mutrin. Time of the goal, 16:02 à 16 minutes 2 secondes.
Le temps du but, 16 minutes 2 secondes. Aiden, 3-2 lead, 3:40 to go. Desnoyers, Cornforth, and Tommy Blyle. Game 7. Face off to the right of Zach Peltier.
This is a big face-off here.
His backup, Brent Ruddy, wearing number 31. William LaSalle, of course, on the injured list. Off the face-off. It'll bounce to Chudzinski, not fairly done or executed properly. They'll do it again. Veteran linesman Jay Dwyer, Matty Hicks. The referees are Jeff Hopkins and John Langeau. Big noisy crowd here at the Avenir, and why not? Game 7. They don't come by very often. Spencer Gill in behind his goaltender Peltier. The tall number 15 starts out, throwing it across the ice. Up ice the Armada come. They're going to flip it in the corner. Desjardins and Tommy Blyle. Blyle battling his man back to the point quickly across the blue line. Gill, there's a drive. That hit Blyle. Picked up by Desjardins. Number 42 swings back, dishing it to Bill Zonot. The shot, pad save, Guimont. Cleared away by Chudzinski. Back to the blue line. Across the blue line, Gill. Feeding the winger coming in, Gosselin. Back to Gill at the right point. 3 minutes to go. Good control by the Armada. Lemieux at the net, tipped in front, just wide. On the glove side, another shot by Carbonneau. Guimont, glove save, and fired high down the ice. That could be icing.
Oh, another save made by Rudy Guimont. That could have easily been a goal for the Armada as one just gets tipped wide. It trickles just past the left post of Rudy Guimont. Armada jump on it quickly and able to shovel it back in front, and this chance here by Carbonneau is as close as the Armada have been in a while, Zonot, to tying this hockey game. A nice save made by Rudy Guimont.
Yeah, they got to pay attention to number 8, Justin Carbonneau. 51 goals during the year, and of course that winner in Game 6. 3-2 Cats, 2:43 to go. Gabe Smith, full stop inside the blue line. Knocked off his stick by Nobat. Chudzinski battling his man, Gulicits in the corner. Ty Fair moves in with Veronin. Around the wall they go. Good outlet pass, Lavigne. On the left side, Nobat. Deputy trying to keep up a shot. Good save, Guimont. And Nobert. He busted it on the wing. Cats are going to bomb one down on the wing. Good play by Veronin to make that puck out. 2:15 to go. Stolen at the blue line. Desnoyers now goes to the net. He's got Ty Fair on him in front. Cleared away by the Armada. One arm on the stick and a man on your back. Pretty hard to make a play. 2 minutes to go in the second. 3-2 Moncton. Puck in the Cats' corner. Game 7 here at the Avenir. Centered by l'Armada. Back to the blue line. Fed back in behind the net by Filai. Good contact. Deputy on his man in the corner. Back to Filai. At the top of the circle, they have a man down low. Moving in from the blue line. They center one. Can the Cats get it out? Kept in at the blue line by l'Armada's Villeneuve. In the corner, incoming, Filai shooting, that one off Valenius, and the rebound right to Gavin Cornforth. Through the neutral zone, he can really scoot, and he'll fly back in the Moncton zone. Across to Eric Valenius. Valenius giving it to partner Deputy, 1:23 to go in a 3-2 Moncton lead. Long pass at the Moncton bench. Desnoyers couldn't take it, no icing. Moncton changing on the fly. There's an open man at the Cat blue line. Broken up nicely by Teddy Mutrin. They'll come down the right side. Nico Turnus digging hard right on the blue paint, and it's hoisted in by Tommy Blyle. Blyle gets his man, knocks his man off the puck. It'll go to Desjardins. Back into the corner. Blyle knocked down by the Armada player. Back to the blue line for Filai. He'll bomb it across the blue line. Villeneuve shot in front. Villeneuve shooting wide. He got a rebound right on his stick, but he drifted it wide. And the Cats throw it up ice. Intercepted by Carbonneau. Carbonneau is going to come in over the line, and there's a trapped player. Luckily, Lemieux way inside the Cat blue line. 40 seconds to go. Frantic out there with the Cats owning a 1-goal lead here late in the second period.
Well, this is a big 40 seconds to try and get into the locker room after 2 periods. Up 1, going into the final frame. You got to be heavy on your guys. You can't give up any free space here, no slacking. This has got to be some of the best 40 seconds you've played if you're any of these guys out on the ice right now for Moncton.
Our defending league champions 3, Armada 2. They got the big line out there, Carbonneau, Zonot, Gosselin. They're going to get lots of ice time. Teddy Mutrin now will forecheck in the Armada zone, 30 seconds to go. Here comes Spencer Gill. He'll get that big 6'4 frame going. He rips it in behind Rudy Guimont on the Cats corner. Belen behind the net. Fauquier-Gendron around the boards. That'll hit the netting and stop play. 19 seconds to go. Puck in the Moncton zone. Cat goals to Caleb Desnoyers from Teddy Mutrin and Evan Deputy. Gavin Cornforth from Riley Sampson. And Tommy Blyle from Nico Turnus and Teddy Mutrin. Cats 3, Armada 2, Game 7. What a series it's been. Cats have wins of 6-2, 6-2, and 5-4. The Armada, 3 of them at 3-2 off the faceoff. Moncton gets it up the boards. Outside, that's key. Gill's going to rip it in with 12 seconds to go. In the corner, Max Belen will also chop it high. Knocked down at the blue line, fed in by the Armada on a play, 5.7 to go. So critical to get that puck out cleanly. And where you have support. Moncton up by a goal here, 5-7 on the clock, 5.7.
Well, if you want to talk about lessons learned, just look at last game and how important faceoffs can be with barely any time on the clock. If you're taking this draw here from Moncton, you just want to get on top of it, just get rid of this 5 seconds of the second period.
Face off to the left of Rudy Guimont. Shots are 24-19 Moncton. Good draw win by Desnoyers. Villain is there. Villain's on the boards, being pushed in by Zanon. That'll do it for period number 2. Moncton will take that 1-goal lead into the dressing room here at the Avenir Center. Game 7, your Wildcats 3 and the Armada 2. Moncton getting a couple of goals in that period. Here's John.
11 for a 2-period total of 19, 19. And by the Wildcats, 12 dues for a 2-period total of 24, 24.
Thank you, John. When we come back, Aiden's comments on period number 2. Craig Eagles and Scott Briggs will wander back in with their take on the middle period. How dramatic, how exciting, and your Wildcats take a 3-2 lead into the third period of Game 7 here tonight, Tuesday night action before an almost capacity crowd at the Avenir Center. Our intermission brought to you by another great corporate teammate in Slush Puppy. We'll be back with more right after this on Cats Radio, Inspire FM.
Here we go with our second period intermission game. We're going to play musical chairs. All right, before we get to this, how many Toronto Maple Leafs fans are there tonight? The number 1 pick, really? All right, let's get to our game of musical chairs. We got Henry. We have Ryan. And we've got Wild Willie. And we've got a DJ Allen who's going to play some music. When that music stops, jump in the chair. Whoever's not standing is out of the game of musical chairs. Here we go.
Welcome back to the Avenir Center. 2 periods are in. Moncton 3, Armada 2, and a very exciting and dramatic second period. Cats take that 1-goal lead. Your thoughts on that middle frame, Nate?
Yeah, some back and forth hockey. I thought Moncton started that second frame absolutely superb. That's some of the best hockey they've played in a few games now. And after that tying goal, they kind of lost it for a second. Armada really put the pressure on and had some chances to get the lead of their own, but just the resilience of the group to keep battling, don't give up, keep pushing at it. And a nice goal there to get the Cats up by 1 here late in the second period, and you make your way into the third up 1. Always good.
It seems that Moncton has to be darn near perfect in their own zone. The Armada they have a lot of talent, they have a lot of veteran skill, the veteran forwards, they're waiting for a mistake in the Moncton zone.
Yeah, well, not only in their own zone, they got to be really smart with making passes along the offensive blue line. There's a couple times that they've been caught near that offensive blue line, and it's cost them. Look at the goal that tied the game at 2-2. Baronin blows a tire. You've got 2 guys going down low to the net for a rebound when no shot was even coming, and they get caught, and odd man rush the other way leads to a goal. So they got to be really smart in all 3 zones. You can't give an inch in this third period, especially when you're up by 1 and 20 minutes away from moving on.
Thank you, Aidan Glendenning. Craig Eagles and Scott Briggs are coming by momentarily here at the Avenir. Second intermission brought to you by Slush Puppy on the radio side. And it's a 3-2 Moncton lead here in Game 7. We're back with more on FloHockey TV from Moncton's Avenir Center.
Unless Craig wants to go there.
No.
Okay, there we go.
Welcome back, folks, to the Avenir Center. My apologies. Marty Kingston here on FloHockey TV and, of course, Wildcats Radio. We've got Craig Eagles from Neutral Zone, Scott Briggs, Post Media back. Another exciting, nail-biting period of hockey. Craig, you start.
Well, Moncton come out, like Briggsy said, kind of impose their will, get that goal, but the Armada didn't go away. Right now, if you're Moncton, you got to keep shooting from distance. Right? You got to take his eyes away. Any shot in a Game 7 situation is a good shot.
The Cornforth Sampson goal, for example.
Let's talk a little bit about Riley Sampson.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's talk about a kid that doesn't see a whole bunch of ice, but when he's out there, he's won every face-off, all right, when he's been out there in the last two or three games. Every face-off. And he doesn't see a whole bunch of ice. And then he jumps on maybe his second shift of the game and makes a great little play, subtle play, and they're pulling it out of the back of the net. That's the type of character you need to win these types of games. But that just speaks to the depth as well on this hockey club.
Yeah. Scott.
I just think it's worth reiterating the wisdom in that play by Cornforth. Even though it was from distance, it was at the net. There was a bit of traffic, and the goal by Blyle was a pretty goal. Nice setup and everything, nice shot, nice finish. But it might come down to something more gritty, something like the Cornforth goal and the Sampson effort, as you mentioned, Craig. And on the goal that they gave up, the goal the Wildcats gave up, I thought they played it a little bit too conservatively. It was a great passing play, but they gave them a bit too much room. And I get it. You don't want to overcommit, and you don't want to be afraid to give up a shot. But by the same token, to go back to what you were talking about last intermission, Craig, the gap control is something you really have to be cognizant of going into this final stretch.
I mentioned to Aiden, I said, the Wildcats have to be darn near perfect in their own zone because of the skill level on that team, Craig, to pick things off, anticipate what Moncton's going to do. They're a tough team to play against in your own end.
Well, they're double shifting their top guys,
right,
too.
Yes.
Right, so they're getting Carbonneau out there, and he's been really, really good.
He's been dangerous.
Yeah. Zonin hasn't balls to twine a whole bunch, but when he's out there, he's an effective playmaker, and he can skate for days. So, again, if you're Moncton right now, you're giving up a lot of grade A opportunities. You got to batten down the hatches, and you can't be stick checking. It's too late for that. You got to take the body, or you got to make sure you get the puck and go. And I think we're going to see which team manages their emotions and their nerves, but also manages the puck right now. And Gardner talked about learning lessons and learning the lesson after Game 6. They're in a situation playing with the lead right now on home ice. Let's see how they handle it, and let's see if they've learned their lesson. If you're the Armada, we talked about their layers. That was the Blyle goal. They were late to coverage, and they paid a price. So, again, leave it all out on the line here. 20 minutes to go, but you got to execute and you got to manage the puck.
That all one-goal lead, Scott, coming up.
Yeah, this series has had it all, a quadruple overtime, the fireworks after Game 2, the down to the last face-off, Game 6, and now it all comes down to this last period and maybe some overtime again, but wow, what a series. We'll be talking about this game after, no matter the result. It'll be interesting to see what we're talking about.
I threw back the Barbashev goal because the last Game 7 here was 2023. 5 of the 7 went into OT, which was a Q playoff record, and Barbashev wins it in double OT. We actually played the clip tonight of the winning goal.
And that was a little controversial, too, because Bacomo thought they scored.
That's right.
And then
they were pretty convinced that they'd scored.
They were. And I was at ice level when that puck went in. Both pucks went in, actually. So exciting times here. Obviously, a lot of people watching. But what a showcase for the QMJHL. And from a scouting perspective and everything, it's a great showcase. And you're going to see what these players are made of.
And
And this is what you want to see, best on best.
And across the country now we pay attention to what's happening in the OHL. What a comeback by the Barrie Colts. Their goaltender Hribic, I can't remember, 54 saves in the OT. Another shutout in game 7, 40 or 45 saves. Out west, Everett, strong year, and they're going to meet Prince Albert in the WHL final.
Well, it just, again, the CHL is live and well. There's tons of talent, but it's that will to compete now. We're in that time, in that stretch where, sure, you have the skill and the speed and all that, but are you going to bring it?
Yeah.
Do you have that will?
I'm really excited. You mentioned Everett. I'm really excited to see how Landon DuPont fares, the son of Mickey DuPont, former St. John Flames defenseman,
yes,
who 25 years ago was a key guy in helping the Flames win the Calder Cup. And there's so much to be interested in this time of the year. Of course, in St. John, a lot of people think it's a given that Alexi Joseph will be number 1 overall. But, I mean, DuPont is a guy who could fill that slot. And it's just an interesting time of the year to see all of these prospects in action. And they're put to the test. And some of them out here tonight will be put to the test soon.
Will it be the much predicted Moncton Chicoutimi final? Will we have 1 period to go, gentlemen? Craig, to your point, 1 goal lead, and how you manage it, I would agree.
It's far too early to make any predictions heading into the. But 2 great teams, and it's those players. We all know them, but which one of them are going to step up right now with it all on the line and lead their club?
Yeah. Final comment, Scott.
I don't usually make predictions, but tonight I did say Moncton 5-2. I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
I just think that this building and the way guys like Blyle and several others, Denwye, they're willing the crowd to be that extra player. I think that's going to come into play again. I think they're going to find a way to get it done.
Scott Briggs and Craig Eagles here at the Avenir Center. Thank you, gentlemen. Always great to have you on. It's the second intermission. Moncton has a 3-2 lead. It's Game 7, and we're heading into the 3rd period here at the Avenir. Wildcats hockey on FloHockey TV from Moncton NB. Welcome back, everybody, and good evening, everybody, on the FloHockey YouTube site. We're having a free viewing tonight, and welcome, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the game. We are certainly enjoying this hockey game. It's Game 7. They're always enjoyable. They're very dramatic. And the home team, your defending champion Wildcats, lead 3-2 going into the third. Aiden Glendenning.
Well, that's the story, and for a lot of these guys, this is the biggest game that they've played in, said Coach Gardner McDougall after Game 6, and this is definitely the biggest period that all of these guys are going to have to play in, and they're going to have to bring their A game. They're going to have to play at 110% here, not give an inch. All the pressure's on the Armada, and the Wildcats have to look to protect this one and try to send themselves back to the final for the second straight year.
Well, needless to say, a fourth goal would be absolutely gargantuan here at the Avenir, but it's a one-goal lead you have to protect and go from there. Well-coached Moncton Wildcat Club, Gardner McDougall, Doug Dowell, former NHLer, Kelsey Tessier, Mikael Tam, Antoine Samuel, and the entire staff, Mike Eagles, Paul Boudelier, Tanner Summers, they're all down there or somewhere in the building, and it's a very exciting time. We're about 15 seconds away.
Well, speaking of the Leafs and their first overall pick in the draft lottery win, there's Philip Myers banging the drum for the Wildcats down there, the Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman and local of the Moncton area, getting the crowd fired up for the third.
Congratulations on winning the NHL lottery, Aiden Glendenning.
Got to take the wins where you could get them.
Very good. Yeah, I'm a Habs fan. We'll take a win with 9 shots in Game 7. We'll take that. Third period's underway. Moncton skating right to left. And a 3-2 lead, Moncton in Game 7 at the Avenir. Desnoyers through center, quickly met by Yernesio. Cornforth has been skating country miles all night. Will swing back in the cat zone. Almost stumbling over the puck. He'll rip one up the boards. Mercier just bounced over the stick of Moncton's number 10. It'll sail into the corner. 1-goal lead, Moncton in Game 7. Vincent Collard will throw one out to center ice. Desnoyers with a bobbling puck. Yernesio is going to bring it in, carrying it in the corner. Nudged off the puck nicely by Depatie. Runs into Max Belen. All 3 players go down. 2 Wildcats centered, and it'll be Gavin Cornforth. Evan Depatie getting up real slow, and he will try to make it to the bench, hobbling, but at least he's upright, and he's now going into the Moncton bench. An odd collision with teammate Eric Valenius. 3-2 Cats lead, 18:58 to go in this, the third period of Game 7. Through the middle of the ice, Ryan Chudzinski. The Armada trying to bottle up that neutral zone on these speedy Cats. Fortier-Gendron at the Moncton bench. Eric Valenius now will take his time on the wing. Directed in by Veronin, in behind number 32, Zach Peltier. Cats out shooting L'Armada 24-19. Gabe Smith battling. A little bit of a leap there by 22, Ty Fair, looking for a penalty. Refs weren't buying. Flipped into the corner by Desjardins. That'll be offside. That's a pretty good embellish. We haven't seen that too much in the series. Mr. Ty Fair leapt in the air and no call.
Yeah, I just trying anything to get a whistle to be blown by either official, but Hopkins and Langelo, you've seen how little they called in Game 1 of this series. They've yet to call a penalty other than the 2 coincidental roughing minors earlier in this one, and I'd assume they'll put the whistles away and let these guys play.
I'm not criticizing Matthew Ty Fair. I know you have to do what you can. I just haven't seen that good of a leap in a while. Fired in by Filai from center. 3-2 Cats lead, third period, Game 7. Valen's in the corner. Brings it up the boards. Nico Turnus is there. Outlet pass. It'll glide across the neutral zone. Teddy Mutrin's going to pick it up. Mutrin cuts to the middle. Try to get a pass away. Knocked off the puck, and the Armada will push a rolling puck through the center. Villeneuve, great skater. There's the shot off a Moncton player into the corner. Villeneuve's going to spar with the Cat player as opposed to come back. Turnus will leave it there at the blue line through center. Villeneuve coming back for the Armada. Long pass at the Moncton blue line. That looks like offside. Nobert will slip it in behind Rudy Guimont. Passing it to Max Belen. Up the wing. Teddy Mutrin's over center and will feed the puck slowly in the corner and head to the bench. Lounsbury out there with Nico Turnus around the boards. It'll get by everybody. Down the ice, no icing. Rudy Guimont gets it on the boards. Max Milenius up on the wing. 1-goal lead. Spencer Gill now at the penalty box with Desnoyers. Across the Moncton blue line, Yernesio leaves it in the corner. Going in there, Vincent Collard on Eric Valenius. 2 more players join. Collard fights off a check. Valenius. Bouncing, rolling puck. It'll come to Mercier. Through center. Mercier across the blue line. Moving in, Desnoyers. Leaving it to Mercier. Cornforth. Too well covered. They got that play covered, I think, and tied up. Collard comes back for the Armada. Bouncing puck. Gavin Cornforth. Great comeback defensively. Around the boards it goes, though. Kept in by Desjardins. On the boards, a little dish-off pass. Desjardins will swing back to the blue line. Tyfair open at the right point. At the middle of the blue line, a drive, and that hit Blyle. Carbonneau fires one at the net. Guimont will steer that into the corner. That's the big line for the Armada. Gill at the blue line, across to Tyfair. At the net, off a stick and wide. Carbonneau with Desnoyers watching him. Tripped up. Wow, that was close. Tommy Blyle brings it out, but it doesn't get to the blue line. Kept in by Tyfair. Moncton's had some chances to get it over the blue line. There's another one. Kept in by Golicic. Tommy Blyle in behind the net. Valen up on the boards, again to the point, kept in by the Armada. Zanon to Carbonneau, shot wide on the glove side, sailing back to the left point. Good pressure. Carbonneau shooting, and it's deflected into the corner. 15:52 to go. 3-2 Moncton leading. Fired around the boards by the Cats. It'll come dangerously in front, and Zanon will sweep it wide. That hit something, and Desnoyers finally getting it out to center and flipped in by Moncton. Long pass to Gosselin, the wing. There's a shot. Blocker save Guimont. Cleared away by Fortier-Gendron. Good pressure by the Armada. Chudzinski off the boards. Fortier-Gendron to Gabe Smith. Smith battling at the blue line. Fending off the checker Lavigne and back to Fortier-Gendron. The Armada putting big time pressure on the Cats on that last shift. Veronin in behind the net, comes out. Veronin turns in front to Gabe Smith. What a feed at the goal mouth and just wide. Here comes Chudzinski cutting into an open area. He'll continue in the corner with Filai. He's been a beast in the corners today. Ryan Chudzinski, 14:54 to go. Cats up 3-2 here in Game 7. Kept in at the blue line by Valenius. The Armada get it out to the blue line. Kept in by Gabe Smith. He'll cut on the backhand. He was looking for Veronin. Players going down in a crowd. And back come 3 Armada to the Moncton zone. Nobert shooting. Arm save Guimont. And a beauty on that one. The Armada coming close. Villeneuve will walk in. No shot. Villeneuve throwing it at the left point for the Armada. 24-22 the shots. Chudzinski will steal one. Is there enough gas left? He's got Spencer Gill to worry about, and a smart play on the way to the bench, Ryan Chudzinski. Smith will steal one in the corner. Gabe Smith comes up the ice. It'll be Turnus with a drive, blocker save. Smith rebound. I thought he had the open net, but he made a backhand pass to the front of the net, and back come the Armada. Lemieux cuts to the middle. Shooting, Guimont, glove save. Cleared away by the Cats. Bouncing puck, Vincent Collard. Moncton comes up the wing. Teddy Mutrin back into the corner. Max Belen to Teddy Mutrin. Moncton withstanding some pressure by the Armada. It remains a 3-2 lead. Mutrin through center will flip a rolling puck in. It's shot back out to the Cat blue line. Belen, find the red line, please. Max, there he did. Blocked at the blue line, though. Max will get it back. Belen across the blue line to Tommy Blyle. Blyle threw one in the corner, but the stick broke in two. He'll head to the bench for a new graphite. 13:20 remaining in the third. Moncton up 3-2. The Armada in the neutral zone. Nice play by Mutrin, dishing it off to Gavin Cornforth. There's the shot. Bouncing into the corner. Cornforth follows up and pushed off the puck by the Armada. Desjardins through center. Number 42, the veteran, trying to cut around Fortier-Gendron. He'll put the brakes on. In front of the net to Bill Zanon. And Guimont came right out at the top of the blue paint to rob Bill Zanon. What a save. He didn't stay in the net there, Aiden Glendenning.
Well, that's a game saver, Marty. I know you're up 1, but that's a big-time save by a big-time goaltender, and Rudy Guimont. We spoke about it. He was tremendous in Game 6. He's washed away that final minute, and he's came to play here this evening. He sees that Bill Zanon is wide open at the hash marks. no questions asked. He comes all the way out about 3 feet past the top of the blue paint to challenge him, makes the save. What a stop by number 25.
Moncton 3, the Armada 2 will take a timeout here. 30 seconds, if you will. Producer Adam McLaren. Game 7, Cats up by 1, third period. How exciting. This is Wildcats playoff hockey from Moncton's Avenir Center. Third period, Moncton 3, Armada 2. Rudy Guimau robbing Bill Zonneau. He was alone, it seemed like an eternity in front of that net. And Guimau shoots up to the top of the blue paint, robbing number 9, Biz Zonneau. Puck into the corner, Tommy Blyle with Carbonneau. Carbonneau steals it off the boards. There's the shot off the side of the net. Cannot let him get loose off the wall. 3-2 Moncton, 12:40 remaining. They're going to put that big line out there, I can rest assured. Kept it at the blue line by Golicic. Tommy Blyle, long pass, Desnoyers. Desnoyers dropping it for Lounsbury. The shot, wide rebound, they score! Moncton takes a 4-2 lead. Lounsbury missed the net, and who showed up to bang that in? Alex Mercier. What a goal, big one, 4-2 Cats. At 7:32, time of the goal, Asudas Biano.
Well, it looked like it was getting messy in the D zone. A nice play by Tommy Blyle to glove that one down, and a nice pass right to the tape of Desnoyers through the neutral zone, and a backhand pass. Lets Lounsbury walk right into that one. It's deflected off Ty Fair's stick wide, comes right back off the half wall, in behind Pelletier, finds the stick of Mercier. He's got an open cage to tap it in, and the Cats up 4-2 now in Game 7 with 12:28 to go.
That's a big one, Alex Mercier. Looked like Tommy Blyle for a bit there from our vantage point. And of course they mobbed the veteran Merce, Alex Mercier, the pit bull, and he rammed it in the open side. That'll come from Lounsbury and Desnoyers. Cats up 4-2 in Game 7. Here's JR.
Compté par le numéro 10, number 10, Alex Mercier.
Moncton doing some strong forechecking for Ronan Chudzinski out there again with Gabe Smith. Here comes Gosselin for the Armada. Centered by Blainville, back to the blue line. Filai puts it back into the corner. Moncton up by a pair in Game 7. 11:50 to go in the third period. Lovely high flip by Mr. Villain. That'll land at the Armada blue line. Filai puts it right on the stick of Gabe Smith. Across center ice to Depatie. Good to see him back out there, and he'll fire it in from there. Take the hit from Leving. Filai behind the net. That's his first rush tonight, but he's quickly snuffed off the puck by Lounsbury. Good play by the veteran Lounsbury. Tommy Blyle with that deep, long pass to center. Redirected in by Lounsbury. Gill working over Lounsbury at the blue line. Moncton has the puck now at their own lines. It'll be Tommy Blyle up the wing, throwing it inside the line, and that will be maybe off somebody at the Armada bench. That fourth goal. Alex Mercier, 8th of the playoffs from Preston Lounsbury and Caleb Desnoyers at 7:32. Moncton 4, Armada 2. Third period action here at the Avenir. Attendance at 75:30, 7,500. Moncton's biggest so far in the playoffs, fired in by Valenius off the faceoff. Loose puck to Turnus at the side of the net. He's knocked off the puck. The Armada flip it up the boards, but Mutrin is there, and he's drilled from behind, and the Armada will get a penalty on the play. Delayed penalty. Mutrin slowly going to the bench. Gotta call that. Nico Turnus behind the net to Depatie. Oh, pass not connecting in the corner. And with 10:49 to go in a 4-2 lead, the Cats go to a power play here at the Avenir Center.
Yeah, the Armada just doing everything they can to try and get a retaliation penalty out of Gavin Cornforth right now. His teammates will pull him aside and get him to the bench. Yeah, just a kind of a tough hit there, as Teddy might have turned at the last second. I'm not too sure here. Missing the replay, but ends up getting hit from behind and barreling towards the boards. It's a no-brainer call for the officials, who have kept the whistles away for the majority of this hockey game, and now Moncton has a chance to wrap a bow on this thing. Up 4-2 now, 2 minutes on the power play to try and get their fifth.
Wow. Yeah, Butrin in the box. They called it interference. I might have called it cross-checking or checking from behind. It's still a 2-minute penalty. Power play brought to you by Crown Plaza and Baton Rouge. Olivier Lemieux in the box. Moncton 4, Armada 2. 10:49 to go in the third. Moncton skating right to left. Gabe Smith, Butrin at the face-off. Teddy Butrin right out there. Protects the puck like no other. Back to the blue line to Tommy Blyle. Blyle will chip it off. Turnus with a drive right at Peltier. It hit the big 6'4" tender. Nico Turnus loves that off-wing torpedo from the dot, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, that was a nice reaction there by Peltier to not only get over, but he's able to squeeze the elbow to the chest protector and make sure that one doesn't squeak in under his arm. Labeled there just on the low blocker side was that shot by Nico Turnus, and nice stop by Peltier.
Good to have a goaltender doing color commentary in Glendenning. Face-off, Denoyer at the face-off circle in the Armada zone. Teddy Butrin, Tommy Blyle, Gabe Smith playing the right point. Left-handed shooting. Blyle, nice shift at the blue line. Cuts to the net. Tommy Blyle with a goal in this game. At the blue line, he'll get the return feed. Tommy Blyle skates under pressure from Gustin. He was looking for Nico Turnus. It bounced back to him. Back to Turnus in front. Turnus will let it go. It hit Peltier once again. Side of the net. Turnus will pull that puck free. Back to Tommy Blyle at the blue line. Cats 4-2 lead on the power play. Butrin, Turnus in front. Looking for Gabe Smith. Denoyer at the point. Extremely quick on the wing to Gabe Smith. Teddy Butrin leaves it for Tommy Blyle. Gabe Smith pulls the puck out. He's right along the blue line, giving a pretty good tuck. Turnus is going to try to head to the net and leave it there for Captain Denoyer. Back to Smith. A drive, and that went off the Armada player. Not getting up really slow. In front to Smith. They score from Butrin. Gabe Smith. 5-2. Great work by that line. The power play connects. Gabe Smith not missing that one. Teddy Butrin. He's a tank out there in Glendenning, and he just gave Moncton a 5-2 lead.
Well, every game that Teddy Butrin's been a key contributor. The Wildcats are 6-0 this playoff run, and he's been a contributor here tonight. But the first one-time shot is what really gets them at the advantage. It hits Leving in a bad spot, and he's down and unable to continue to defend, and that leaves Gabe Smith wide open for a one-timer right around the hash mark area, and he makes no mistake on that one. A nice pass by Teddy Butrin right to the tape and into the back of the net.
5-2, Moncton leading. Power play goal by the Cats. Gabe Smith, who leads the Q playoff race in goals, and I believe in points. I'll double check that. Here's JR. Gabe Smith. Here come the Cats off the face-off. Puck sliding in the corner to Lounsbury. Center one. Peltier getting a piece of that. Up come the Armada. Number 44, Dubé, is going to flip one wide to Guimond. The Armada down by 3. Moncton 5-2 lead here in Game 7, 9 minutes remaining. Deputy off the boards out to center. Right on the stick of Veronin. He's over the line. Veronin not shooting. He'll swing back to the blue line. Kuzma Veronin knocks it into the corner. Chudzinski fighting off a check from Golicic. He'll continue pushing Golicic as the Armada start up ice. Smith from Butrin and Nico Turnus, power play at 10:19. Carbonneau throws it in the Cats' corner. 5-2 Moncton leading. 8:40 on the clock. It's chipped back to the blue line. Filai, long shot. Nice block in front. And a play at the blue line, I believe, offside. Caleb Denoyer catching that puck from the blue line. That Smart's on the right hand. They're not meant to catch those hard shots, Aiden.
No, and luckily enough, not anything around the wrist area. He's staying out there now. Seems to be good to go after taking that one around the hand.
8:34 to go, folks, in the third period. Moncton out shooting the Armada 29-24. Couple here in the third so far to Alex Mercier and Gabe Smith. Smith on the power play. Game 7. Chicoutimi Saguenayens await the winner. Alex Mercier will battle his man at the blue line and chip it in the zone. A lot of hotly contested one-on-one battles out there. Here's the sniper Carbonneau through center to Bill Zonot. Zonot in front of the net to Carbonneau. Too well covered by Valenne. The Cats, Fortier-Gendron to Desnoyers. Kept in by Blainville. 7:59 to go. Desjardins to Zonot. Zonot spins off a check. Carbonneau's in behind the net waiting. Zonot still with it. Gets it around the boards to the blue line. Cornforth will put pressure on Gill and Villeneuve, who tried an extra move. Intercepted by Moncton. 7:40 remaining. Moncton changing. Gill backing up. Chips a pass up on the wing to the Finnish forward Yernesio, from Sweden. Vasakala down the wing. It'll roll dangerously in front of the net. And Veronin, lightning fast, on the wing to Gabe Smith. In front, there's a shot by Chudzinski. On a beautiful setup by Smith, over the net on a deflection. Back to the blue line, Valenius at the net. Caught by Peltier, airborne. Gabe Smith now lightly bumping Peltier. And he and Golicic, or Spencer Gill, throwing some gloves at each other. 7:12 to go, folks. Moncton 5, Armada 2. Moncton, of course, the defending league champions, and looking to meet the Chicoutimi Saguenayens to defend the Gilles Courteau Trophy. Lots of time remaining. 7:12 on the clock. Aiden, Moncton up 5-2.
Well, if not for Peltier there, this score would have been 6-2 off that chance by Chudzinski. He's actually able to stretch across and get that with the blocker to deflect it up over the net, and his defenseman giving him some taps right now, recognizing he's putting in a solid effort for them tonight despite the score here with 7 to go in the third.
Off the face-off, it'll come back to the blue line. Depatie throws one at the net wide. It'll bounce in front dangerously. Cleared back into the corner by l'Armada. 7 to go in the third period. Moncton 5, Blainville-Boisbriand 2. There's a long stretch pass. Guimont will leave it there at the net for Evan Depatie. Around the boards, and by the point man, it'll glide or roll down in the Armada zone. Spencer Gill throwing one airborne through the neutral zone. Good play by Mutrin to steal, and he'll forward the puck into Peltier on a one-hopper, and he'll hold on. 6:40 remaining. Moncton 5, Armada 2 here at the Avenir Center in Game 7.
Well, I just love the response from the group here this evening, Marty. There's chances, there was up and downs. They gave up the first goal of this hockey game off a bit of a weird bounce, and right afterwards they go to work. They tie it up and get the lead, and not shortly after, some chances where they could have made it 3-1, ends up getting tied 2-2 off another bit of a bad bounce in front, and they just continue to stick with it and put their heads down and go to work. A real gutsy effort by the Moncton Wildcats, and some needed experience if they get down and end up winning this one going into the final.
6:37 to go. A long stretch pass by Armada. Carbonneau, very solid man on his skates, 6'1", 200-pounder. He had 51 goals during the year. Back along the Cat blue line to Ty Fair. Ty Fair spins off a check under relentless pressure from Mercier. Desjardins on the wall, being hounded by Desnoyers. Bill Zonos in the corner. Back to Desjardins. There's a shot off the face from the blue line, blocked, and Fortier-Gendron will get it out by everybody down the ice. That could be icing, though. And the whistle stopping the clock at 6:05. Moncton 5, if you're just tuning in, 2 in the third. Alex Mercier from Preston Lounsbury and Caleb Desnoyers. Gabe Smith power play, no mistake. Teddy Mutrin, though, an amazing feed, along with Nico Turnus. Other goals to Tommy Blyle, Gavin Cornforth, and Caleb Desnoyers. Moncton 5, Armada 2, face off to the right of Guimont. Cats win the draw, and it's wrapped off the boards down the ice. Villeneuve flattening Lounsbury off the wing. Centered, Guimont save, right to Mercier. Mercier coming up ice with a high flip. 5:51 to go as the Cats have a 3-goal lead. Desjardins to zone blue line. He'll feed one to the Cat blue line to Villeneuve. Villeneuve will shoot it in the corner. Valeni is showing up, putting pressure on his man. Filai gets it back to the blue line to Villeneuve. He'll throw it to an open corner. The Armada, a centering pass, cleared away by the Cats. Nice play out to center, and there is Ryan Chudzinski. He'll forward it in the corner. Jumping by Villeneuve along with Gabe Smith. Chudzinski's in the corner, tripped up by Villeneuve. Villeneuve bouncing off Chudzinski, now a full court bear hug in the corner as Filai works over his man with the cross checks. And yes, you're going to get a penalty, Mr. Filai. 6, 8, 10 in a row. 5:08 to go. Moncton up 5-2. Penalty on the play, Mr. Filai on defense.
Well, good to see that Kuzma seems to be all right. He's kind of hunched over now, but able to get up off the ice under his own power. But yeah, about 10 cracks to the back of the numbers of Kuzma Veronin as Filai just going right to work, and cross-check after cross-check. Got about to the 6th or 7th cross-check there where the refs finally put the arm up, and no-brainer call. And now if you needed any more convincing and maybe some spread to keep your mind at ease as a Wildcats fan, the Cats are going to have 2 minutes here on the power play to try and get their 6th of this hockey game.
5-2. Here come the Shovel Kids, I believe, at the Avenue. We'll take a break and come back as well. Cats up 5-2. Moncton going back on the power play. This is starting to be late third period of Game 7 here at the Avenue. Wildcats hockey, FloHockey TV. Welcome back to the third period, brought to you by Eastern College. Producer Adam McLaren back at our studios. Marty Kingston, Aidan Glendenning. Moncton 5:08 away from reaching the QMJHL Finals, defending the Gilles Courteau Trophy against the Chicoutimi Saguenay. Lots of time remaining, but the Cats are on a power play. Filai were repeated cross checks to Kuzma Veronin in the box. Power play for Crown Plaza and Baton Rouge. Denvoyer giving it to Teddy Mutrin. Mutrin back to Tommy Blyle, middle of the blue line. Blyle turn us a drive and a stick save by goaltender Peltier. Wrapped down the boards by Spencer Gill. Tommy Blyle swings in behind Rudy Guimard. Blyle through center, a drop pass to Mutrin. They'll come up the ice with Denvoyer. Teddy Mutrin, nice play at the blue line. Mutrin coming in. Fires it in behind the net. Gabe Smith waiting on the other side. Denvoyer is in the corner. Pushed by Gill. And an outlet pass goes right to Matt Gosselin. Gosselin, number 11, great skater, trying to get by his man. Tommy Blyle could not. Blyle swings back in the zone. Teddy Mutrin up the ice. I thought Galicic could have played that, but it's icing on the play. 4:15 to go.
Oh, it doesn't seem like the time could go by any slower right now, Marty. That's whistle after whistle here lately, and that one, just the pass not connecting. Like you said, looked like Galicic had a chance to play that one, decides to turn off of it. Smart play by him. If you're trying to get the face-off in the Wildcat zone, that's exactly what happens, and there'll be a face-off just to the right of Rudy Guimard with 4:15 to go. Cats up 5-2 in this third period of Game 7.
4:15 to go, good call. Moncton up 5-2, 32 shots, Cats, 25 Armada. Power play, Moncton, 1:07 to go. Off the face-off, Carbonneau will go directly to the net and chip one high into the netting. Armada have to press. I know they're down a man, but they have no choice in the matter. They've got to press. Down by 3, even though they're shorthanded. 1:02 to go in the Filai minor. Face off to the right of Rudy Guimard in the Cat zone. Moncton skating right to left. Gabe Smith at the draw. Denvoyer, Cornforth, Blyle, Mercier, Gabe Smith. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Well, you wouldn't usually see Carbonneau on for a penalty kill. He's out here for this draw as they, like you said, they need something here, trying to get anything going.
Puck in the corner. Lavigne is out there trying to steal it from both Fortier-Gendron. In behind the net, the Cats were under 4 minutes in Game 7. Gabe Smith will carry the puck. He'll drop it back to Nico Turnus. An airborne pass to Depatie. In the corner, Gabe Smith will throw it back between the two Moncton players, being Fortier-Gendron and Caleb Desnoyers. Moncton has time on their side, if you will. You play sort of a defensive power play, eat the clock. 3:43 to go with a 5-2 lead. Depatie's in the corner. In behind the net, giving it to Fortier-Gendron. Back to Depatie behind Rudy Guimard. 20 seconds to go on the power play. It'll be on the wing now to the outgoing captain Caleb Desnoyers, racing down the left side. Desnoyers throws one in front of the net. Showing up Chudzinski wide. Puck battle at center. Stolen by Carbonneau. He's coming down on Depatie. Depatie ties him up. Loose puck in the corner, picked up by Teddy Mutrin. They leave it there for Fortier-Gendron. We're down to 3 minutes to go with a 5-2 Cat lead in Game 7. Teddy Mutrin, always the right play, chips it ahead into the corner and then gets there himself. Chudzinski on the forecheck. It'll bounce wide of an Armada player out to Max Valenne. Valenne in the corner, back in behind the net to Valenius. Up on the boards, a little bit by Chudzinski, fired back in. Guimard's going to leave it there with 2:37 remaining. Long pass. Ryan Chudzinski will try to bust in on Spencer Gill. Gill reversing it in the corner in the Armada zone. Villeneuve with Veronin watching him. Villeneuve, we haven't seen much of him carry the puck. Veronin staying right with him, and a pretty good hack by Veronin. Loose puck in the Cat zone, in behind the net. Valenne around the boards to Valenius. Up on the boards, kept in by Lavigne. He can't get a shot away. Tried to get a drive at the net, loose at the side of the net. Guimard trying to find the puck. It's loose and comes out the other side. Net empty on the Armada side. 2:03 to go. Nobert not shooting wide. It'll end up at the point. Moncton up 5-2. Gill at the blue line. Giving it to Villeneuve. It hit a leg. It'll bounce on the wall. Smith is there, and he does the high flip. Beautifully done. Villeneuve will knock it down with 1:42 remaining. Nobert electing to shoot it in. Guimard is out of the net. He'll give it to Fortier-Gendron. Max Valenne fires one high. It hit an incoming player, and he rips one by Zanon down the ice. We're down to 1:27 in Game 7. Moncton up 5-2. Cats looking to meet the Chicoutimi-Saguenay. Desnoyers steals one. He tried the empty net. He hit Lounsbury. It's loose in the neutral zone, going back to Fortier-Gendron. He'll feed one down the wing, no icing, and showing up is Lounsbury. In front to Desnoyers, bouncing puck, and the Armada with a minute to go hits center. Carbonneau over the Moncton blue line to Ben Zanon. Knocked away by Guimard. Tommy Bliles in the corner. Five-2 Moncton, 48 seconds to go. Back to the blue line. Gill's going to feed it in the corner. Side of the net. Back to the blue line to Carbonneau. 37 seconds to go. At the net wide. That hit Lavigne. Another drive. It's loose in front. Guimard is down. The Cats defending. Back to the blue line. Carbonneau. High over the net of Rudy Guimard. We're down to 20 seconds. Moncton up 5-2. Looking for a date with the Chicoutimi-Saguenay. Teddy Mutrin is there, and he chips one high. That's going to roll in the empty net. No! It missed by a foot and icing the play. 9.7 seconds. Moncton Wildcats punching their ticket to the league finals for the second year in a row. Defending champs. Trying to we get Scott Briggs and Craig Eagles to come back in there after the game, joining Aiden. 9.7. Everybody up on their feet here at the Avenir. 75, 7,600. Cats 5. Armada 2. What a battle. Moncton gets the face-off. Blyle clubs one out. That's going to hit the empty net. They score! Say, put a bow on it. Tommy Blyle, chip shot. You Must have a great short game. He found that beautiful chip and down the ice in the empty net with 4 seconds to go. Moncton 6 and the Armada 2. The Cats are going to win this game and the series in Game 7.
Oh, it's his 6th of the playoffs, and who else but Tommy Blyle stepping up in a big game. He gets a key goal earlier to give the Cats the lead, and he's, like you said, wrapping the bow on this one with 4.1 to go. Cats' miraculous season is going to continue as they punch their ticket to the 2025 QMJHL final for the 2nd year in a row.
Game over. Game 7 over. Wildcats 6, Armada 2. Delirious crowd here at 7,600. Moncton wins the series 4 games to 3 and now meet the Chicoutimi Saguenay, defending the Gilles Courteau Trophy. It'll open at home. Moncton home ice advantage.
Technique numéro 18, Caleb Desnoyers. Time of the goal, 19:55 à 19 minutes 55 secondes.
Well, Moncton mobbing Rudy Guimont. Full marks to the Armada, what a series. And it also marks the end of junior careers for the Overagers on the Armada side as well.
Well, speaking of Overagers, what an effort by the Overagers of Moncton this evening. In a game that could have sent them home and ended their junior career, they step up big. Nice plays by Preston Lounsbury, Alex Mercier, all game long. And how about number 25, Rudy
Shots
Guimont?
on goal in that third period.
Rudy Guimont was able to step up in some big moments and keep his team with the lead. It could have been a different story if it wasn't for some saves of Rudy Guimont as they all hand out the hugs, and guys from out of the lineup, you can see Graydon Robertson Palmer there now on FloHockey handing out the high fives to his teammates, and a big hug between Tommy Blyle and Adam Fortier-Jean-Dras as these guys are booking their ticket to the 2026 QMJHL final.
Wow, Moncton home ice advantage. We don't have dates and times just yet, but it's probably this weekend as the Cats take down the Armada 6-2 in a critical, pivotal Game 7 here at the Avenir Center in Moncton NB on Tuesday night in a beautiful building we call the Avenir Center. What a game. We'll have the handshake now. And for the Armada, Théo Lemieux, Maël Leving, and Vincent Collard moving on from the QMJHL. We wish them all the best. Collard, the first man there. Big hugs. The former teammates, Caleb Desnoyers, Nico Turnus is there, Rudy Guimont from last year's team. Obviously Simon Binkley, Preston Lounsbury, Riley Sampson.
To the Quebec Maritime Junior A Hockey League Finals. Pour la deuxième année consécutive, vos Wildcats s'en vont dans la grande finale de la Ligue junior majeure du Québec.
Wow, 6-2, Moncton takes it, Game 7. The Armada certainly battled all the way, and both teams now doing.
We'd like to remind you also, fans, that we have yet to determine when that next series will start. We ask you to check social media and, of course, the Wildcats office, if you wish to call them, or even the Wildcats website as well. Donc, on n'est pas sûr et certain.
All right, thank you, JR. Yeah, we don't have those dates and times for you. Aiden, what a game. Before we roll to the Subaru Moncton post-game show, your thoughts on this big Game 7 win, 6-2?
Well, just Moncton Wildcats hockey. It's the hockey they've played all year long, and it's exactly what they've done all year long. It's a tough loss in Game 6, but they bounce back and find a way, and that's just the Gardner-McDougall way, the Wildcat way, as they call it, and just the resilience from the group. They were down early, had it tied back up midway through the game, and just non-stop pressure offensively, able to walk away with a win in this one and punch their ticket to the finals against Chicoutimi.
Scott Briggs joining us now from Post Media. You called a 5-2 game, 6-2 with the Blyle empty netter. Quite a performance by the Cats in that third. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I just thought they would find a way to do it here at home, and we can't overlook Guimont's role in this.
Yeah.
Tremendous clutch saves. But also, I thought the Wildcats did a tremendous job of managing their emotions in the last half of this period when things really heat up. Veronin down there, I think somebody counted, he took 10 cross checks. Regular season, you're probably going to have a dog pile in there, but they managed the emotions of the moment. They got the crowd involved, and they have a special relationship with this crowd. You know, you see guys like Tommy Blyle going over and other guys, and you know, it's just a real psychological benefit to have Game 7 on home ice.
Craig Eagles is coming in. Let's hand the microphone over to Craig. Subaru Moncton postgame show, Aiden Glendenning. Thank you, Scott Briggs from Post Media. What do you think of that, Mr. Eagles? Game 7, another Moncton win, but wow.
Incredible series. Like we were talking about earlier, there's nothing like the handshake line in a Game 7. The Armada showed tons of character. They faced adversity all the way through. The Moncton Wildcats came out and really took it to them. That first 5 or 6 minutes of the third period, it's like, oh, well, they were a little shaky.
They had a great Carbonneau line in Zanoya, about a minute and a half in the Moncton zone, everything but score, and Moncton defended starting with Guimont.
Well, bend but don't break. And we were talking about the lessons learned from a Game 6 heartbreak. So they learned, and that's what great teams do. So we're going to have best on best in the Q final.
Well, how long has that final been predicted, Craig? Around the league, everybody looking, Moncton, Chicoutimi, Aiden, we've been talking about that now since, not so much here, but watching the race for first overall between the two teams right into the final days.
Yeah, no,
I just think that, I think the biggest takeaway here is doing what it takes to win at the right times. And we saw two great teams leave it on the line.
Thank you for your comments, Craig Eagles. We'll
Thanks, Marty.
See you on the weekend.
Yes.
Wow, Chicoutimi Saguenay coming in. They just eliminated the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies a couple of nights ago, winning 6-3. Cats still on the ice, Aiden Glendenning. And why not celebrate? We're going back to the finals for the second year in a row. Something very, very hard to do. The St. John Sea Dogs did that in 2011 and 12. Not something that happens very often.
Yeah, and I mean, if you thought this series was a spectacle to watch, next one might top it. It might be even better. We might go the distance for back-to-back series, and that's why you don't like the loss in Game 6. But this experience you're getting in this Game 7 where you potentially might have to go the distance against Chicoutimi, it's huge. And we'll see now on Wild Vision, they're going to start the series on Friday night, 7 p.m. on May 8th here at the Avenir, taking on Chicoutimi Saguenay.
All right, there it is. Producer Adam McLaren, Friday night, May 8th at 7, Saturday, May 9th at 7. Games 1 and 2 before heading back to Chicoutimi in Quebec on the Olympic ice at the Georges Vezina in Chicoutimi. Wow. They had some great games during the year, regular season, very close. And great talent out there on both ends as they Saguenay to Chicoutimi now meet the Wildcats to Moncton. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to say that. As the home announcer, Aiden Glendenning joining me here tonight. Big thanks to Craig Eagles, Scott Briggs, Post Media coming up. We're all part of the Subaru Moncton post-game show. And the Cats now, a lot of people still here. What a great story. 50 wins during the year, 100-plus points, almost topping last year's 53 wins as the Cats last year went all the way to the Mem Cup at Rimouski. They're going to play Chicoutimi Saguenay. We've not been there in the finals, I believe, since the late 1990s under Yannick Jean. It'll be a great series, lots of talent, great skating teams, great goaltenders, and just a marquee way to end the QMJHL season. Your Wildcats and the Sugdi and Chicoutimi.
Well, it's exactly what you want if you're anyone up top in the league's management. You get two of the best teams you've seen in this league in a long time going head-to-head, and it's going to be a bloodbath to say the least, hopefully not literally speaking, but these guys are going to go at each other for what should be 6 or 7 games, Marty. It's not going to be a short series by any means. We were surprised last year with the Wildcats short series against Rouen, but this is a completely different animal, and Chicoutimi, they really bolstered up during the trade period. This is a really strong hockey club that they got over in Chicoutimi, and it's going to be quite the battle.
Let's go to JR. Blyle! Tommy Blyle, what a game, 2 goals, and did he have an assist out there? No, just 2 goals. 2 goals only. Tommy, come on.
The third star, la troisième étoile du match de ce soir, from your Wildcats, number 10, numéro 10, Alex Mercier.
Tommy Blyle, the hardest worker.
The second star, la deuxième étoile, from the Moncton Wildcats, number 14, Teddy Neutron. And the first star, la première étoile du match de ce soir, from your Wildcats, le capitaine, Captain Caleb Desnoyers.
1 goal and 2 assists for Desnoyers. That could have gone either way on the Stars. I thought Tommy Blyle was huge, so we could have given a star to Rudy Guimau. You can only pick 3. Tommy Blyle, couple of goals, including the empty netter. Gabe Smith, a big power play goal. Alex Mercier, key goal on a rebound. And Gavin Cornforth, earlier in the game, Caleb Desnoyers opened up our scoring. And again, the game's on the clock here, Wild Vision, folks. Saturday night, Game 2, Friday night, Game 1. This coming weekend, May 8th, May 9th, 7 o'clock, your Wildcats and Chicoutimi for the Gilles Courteau Trophy. We happen to be defending champions, and it's going to be an amazing series, Aiden Glendenning.
Yeah, well, like you said, Chicoutimi hasn't been there in a while, and it's 2 teams that want to make history in a way. Moncton want to be a group of few to ever win the QMJHL title in back-to-back seasons and get their way into the Memorial Cup. And for Chicoutimi, like you said, it's been so long since the 90s, I believe, since they've last made their appearance. So it's going to be real tight one out there, real spectacle of talent. If you're a fan of hockey and you want to watch some of the top elite prospects in hockey, you got to come watch this series here Friday night, Game 1 at 7 p.m.
Not easy getting there. The Chicoutimi beat Halifax in 4, and then the Quebec Ramparts in 4. Moncton 4 over St. John, and a sweep of Val d'Or. This series went the full mark, the full limit of 7 games. Just watching some of the replays there on Wild Vision on the Gabe Smith goal. Aiden, can't thank you enough. And I believe we'll see you here Friday night.
Yeah, I'm so glad for that. We're so glad for that.
Great to have you, Aiden Glendenning. And thank you to our Q reporters. Always great to have them. Could have had more of them on. In Scott Briggs of Post Media. And obviously Craig Eagles, Neutral Zone. Aiden Glendenning joining me here tonight with our producer, Adam McLaren. Let's get to the replay of this Game 7 clincher before 7,500 at the Avenir Center. Caleb Desnoyers ties things up at 1-1 after Ludovic Grenier goal for the Armada at 8:09. Desnoyers' goal at 14:30. 5th of the playoffs, assisted by Teddy Neutron and Evan Depatie. Here's the 1-1 tie. Caleb Desnoyers. Gavin Cornforth with a big 2-1 lead at 4:40 of the second. 1-1 after 1, by the way. Cornforth, good shot from the blue line. Again, some key work done there by Riley Sampson. Here's the 2-1 lead. Gavin Cornforth.